Hello, everyone. Welcome to the official Sucrose Stans podcast. Today we have less members than last time, a tiny bit less. Hopefully, some members will join because they are late as always. Oh, Raulfigas join. Hello, Raulfigas.
Hello.
Okay.
You want
So.
to skip my introduction because I'm like outside right now.
Oh no. Okay. Can you? Is it still improvable, the quality?
Which quality again?
Oh, don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. Um. So yeah, Kinkle is hopefully also joining. Yeah. But anyway, so on today's topic, we are focusing on the electro element. Sorry, because I will mute you for a second. We will focus on the electro elements, and therefore we have some beautiful members today, some beautiful guests. So first we have Havak. Hello, Havak.
Hi everyone, I'm here and I make Genshin content on TikTok. Hello, how is everyone?
Yeah, thank you for coming. Then we have Raulfigas. I unmuted you, Raulfigas. Oh, okay, then not.
Here?
Yeah, so Raulfigas is does videos. Yeah, anyway, thank you, Raulfigas, for coming. And yeah, I'm last. I'm the usual person. I haven't changed. I do theorycrafting now and then. And yeah, Flip won't be joining us today because he's more busy doing his streams. But anyway, let's just start. So the electro element, it has gone through honestly quite a shift. At first, it was more of a like supportive element with specifically Fischl and Beidou being like the main good units of that element, and we were thinking of it more as like in combination with Hydro to do like overvape teams or taser teams or something like that. It wasn't. Yeah, I guess we can focus on it with the character. So let's just start by talking about the character. I think it has less members than other elements. Oh, wait, is it? Wait. Cryo has these.
I think Geo and Dendro have the least.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. Let's just start by talking about Keqing. So Keqing, who wants to start?
I guess I could start.
Yes.
Keqing is a standard banner Electro character. The skill infuses her with Electro. Her burst does damage, I don't know. And I'm not really familiar with pre-Dendro Keqing.
Yes.
She was kind of just one of the worst units in the game before Dendro.
Yeah. I guess I can elaborate. Oh, like, did you wanna go?
You can continue.
No. You can talk about aggravate with Keqing.
Oh, okay. Aggravate Keqing. That she became a lot better. It's not really good now, but back in the days of Sumeru, she was pretty good. Like her and Fischl on the team with the Denver.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I guess I can talk about Keqing pre-Dendro. The main issue was that like she's a carry and she doesn't have any supportive utility, so she doesn't work like Raiden. We are going to talk about Raiden, but the reason why Raiden was a good character on her launch was because she wasn't necessarily a carry at C0, but more so that Xiangling was still fine at that time, so being a Xiangling driver was good. But Keqing doesn't really have any particular synergy with Xiangling. So if you wanted to use her, you would use her as a carry, and her numbers were just really low. And not only that, but the best attack buffer doesn't work with her at C6. So if you had C6 Bennett, he would override Keqing's Electro Infusion. She has such high synergy with the aggravate archetype because she has a lot of elemental applications, both in her skill as well as her burst, and the normal attacks are like fine in terms of application. And also, she is very good when you use her like as a quick swap kind of character, or like in very short rotations. Her window is really short. The thing is, her normal attacks are pretty high in terms of motion value, but the most front-loaded part is still the like QE, like Q and infuse E. So if you do her like charge attacks, the damage, there would be a small drop off. So if you would continue charge attacking, then that would kind of be a bit awkward. But to like the solution for that was just very short rotations, and you could do that in aggravate teams. Another reason is that Kazuha has pretty long rotation, or like pretty long setup, like both his hold skill and I guess normal skill, but also his burst animation. It's all pretty long. But Kazuha did do a lot of damage back then, like for the time, and also because it was AoE damage and scaled with like had pseudo quadratic scaling. But yeah, she wasn't never like insane. She was always like C0 Keqing on launch was, I guess, good-ish. There was still obviously like she was still miles below like Ayaka or Ganyu, for example, but she was still like solid. But then she fell off because AoE got a lot worse, and her damage just wasn't it anymore. And I guess that summarizes it. At the moment, unironically, I kind of think that her overload teams are better. I don't know if I'm alone with this. Overload or Inefa. But
I mean, that makes sense.
yeah, the main problem is just that Fischl, because the damage is all tied to Fischl and aggravate, and she has synergy with Sarah, but it's not like, I don't know. Sarah also isn't the best buffer ever, so yeah, so she would rather play in Inefa teams, or I guess yeah, you can use Sarah in overload teams.
If you have like a really invested Keqing.
Yes, very invested. Yeah, you need Missplitter for that, and C6.
Oh no.
Yeah, like probably C6. C6 isn't. I guess we can talk about her constellations quickly. C1, I think it's a different application. Or does it share? Does it share application? I forgot.
I have no idea.
If it doesn't share application, then it's basically completely useless. If it doesn't share, I forgot if it does. Wait, I guess I can just check on KQM. Just a second. Not the tangent. Evidence. Skill. C1. Who cares? Oh yeah. Since double damage. It doesn't say. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so if it I'm not sure, but it's still like, even if it's in application, it's probably pretty mid. C2 is nice, if you play her with Sarah or something, because then she can be a battery for Sarah. But it's actually a lot of particles generated. But if you play her with Fischl, the generated electro particles don't really do anything. C4 is unironically like fine. It's pretty whatever, but it's still impressive that like this is like a standard
Yeah.
C4 from 1.0.
Yeah, for a 1.0 constellation, it's
Yeah.
pretty above average.
Yeah, but like in today's age, it's very bad. Or like,
Yeah.
yeah. And then C6 is also just the same kind of mid as the C4. Yeah, so let's go back and then talk about... Oh no, Flip isn't here.
Fischl.
Okay, I will be right back. I need a second. You can start yapping about Fischl. You will need to carry the stream for like 2 minutes. I hope that's fine.
Okay, I'll try my best. Okay, Fischl. She is an off-field sub DPS, and she was known to be like really good for most of the game's life cycle. Her main spike was in 3.0 when they added Dendro. She has like really good synergy with Aggravate, and then obviously in 4.0 they added Chevreuse, which was like you could play her with Chevreuse and Arlecchino. I think Malvika prefers Auroron, but yeah. And obviously she has like over vape teams, she has taser teams, she has a lot of teams. Nowadays she's kind of like fallen off.
Yo, in what unit are we?
We're talking about Fischl. Saga's gone AFK.
One of the most overrated units in the game.
Yeah.
Like, her only real feats is energy and an application in which not a single team wants that. Like, at least Electro energy like that much. Nah, you don't need that.
And
It's not
obviously
enough
now,
of a feat to push her over.
yeah.
Sorry.
Obviously now we have Inefa, who's just kind of just better.
Yeah, like, it's triple the damage baseline. Like, it's not even close. Has utility to buff the team, so it's... Why pick one over the other?
Exactly.
And again about Fischl, I just want to say, like about those aggravate batters. If Fischl is half the team's damage, it is not passing 60k DPS. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Her best use case is arguably Overload if there are no Natlan characters on the team. Because if it's Malvika, she kind of prefers Auroron.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
And
Okay.
even like Janssen. Yo, what's up?
Okay, did you already talk about like Fischl falling off, or are we still in the when she was good times?
Yeah, we kind of said
She had her times. Like,
yeah.
everyone can agree she had her times. But that time is gone. Especially
And, like,
after Natlan released finally good off-field Electros. And even support, like Janssen. It's basically over for her.
Yeah.
It's like what I said like a year ago. Supports, well, quote-unquote supports that only does damage do not age well in this game.
Yeah, I think so
They have
too.
to do something else.
Yeah, the main problem was like that she basically only did damage. She doesn't have any supportive utility, and her application doesn't really honestly like enable anything other than like being like for overload teams where you need another option. But now we have, I guess, Inefa, or like maybe in the future we will get some replacement for that, and she definitely doesn't do enough damage nowadays.
Well, while you were gone, I mentioned Aggravate and I mentioned Chevreuse.
Yeah, I guess the aggravate problem is the same as which we mentioned with Keqing already. is
Yeah.
that like Fischl being carried by Fischl isn't a good thing. Not only because it's not because her damage isn't the greatest anymore, but also because it's all single target, which was the biggest thing about Jesus in batch testing, because everyone kept saying that Keqing does nothing in that team, which she didn't. Like, she was still the carry in AoE, and Fischl was just a sub DPS in AoE. Obviously, Fischl had bigger, or like could have bigger contribution in single target, but that's just how it was balanced. And when the team was good, it was an AoE. So like, yeah, I think it's safe to say that like people overrated Fischl even in aggravate teams.
Flip isn't here to blaze Fischl.
Yeah, I think in you would also use, like, if you play something like Veressa aggravate, if you want to do that to yourself, which you shouldn't,
Oh no.
you should probably still play like Yansan instead of Fischl.
Yeah.
Because buffing Veressa is so much better than playing Fischl as a sub DPS. Okay, let's talk about the profile picture of somebody in this VC.
Yo.
Oh my god, Beidou.
Beidou, my OG main. Well, she still is, but I mostly play Cyno nowadays. And it's rough for her, because she's the most matchup-dependent unit in the game. I'd say it's even more than Nilo. Nilo only really wants at least 2 targets. Beidou specifically wants 2 targets. Anything above or below that, it's a damage loss. Very noticeable. So it's difficult to slot her in. Even the damage and supporting she does, which is like the C6 at best, doesn't do enough and is often impractical, especially when you notice that her C6 AoE is like Yae Miko. So you don't even get it on like second or third targets most of the time.
Yeah.
Another thing of Beidou is also, every time you put her in, she has like the Cyno syndrome, where she increases the ER requirements of everyone in the team just by existing. Like, she feels like she sucks others' energy and they need like 2 or 3 more ER subs sometimes.
Yeah, I'm also wondering why she doesn't have like some kind of energy refund constellation.
I guess they expect you to try and get the parry. I don't know.
Yeah, the full
that's what
counter.
I expect. And this also happens to 2 other parry characters, which is like Yunjin and Candace. They don't get as much particles, like Beidou like doubles her particle generation if you parry properly. Candace and Yunjin, if I recall, is like 1 extra at best.
Okay, I will say, this is just from personal experience. I feel like every time I try to get the parry, the enemy stops attacking.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
This happens a lot more in specific teams where you play her with Bennett, because since she applies Electro to herself, and you have Pyro on yourself, you will overload from parrying, which stops the enemy's animations and knocks them. Some of them.
Oh, no.
So there were situations where that just stops being able to parry. That is one of the situations.
Okay,
And the other one is, in some enemies, the parry cooldown, where you could potentially parry every single attack if you time it right against bosses. Some bosses either attack too fast or too slow to be reliable. There's no in between. Very rare occasion. Like on PMA, there's like a 0.2 second window where you can get the parry out. On cooldown, of course.
Yeah. There's also, I guess, talking about constellations, I think she still has like increase wise one of the biggest C2s, because like her C2 is so massive for her damage.
It's
just
61%.
yeah, it's crazy. And I wouldn't recommend building I wouldn't recommend building Beidou in general, but back in the day,
Yes.
C2 was like a break point where you would build her.
Yeah, in discussions they were like mentioning, do you have her C2 at least?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the answer was yes, they will spam you to build her till no tomorrow. If they said no, they will just tell you to give up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I will say,
yeah.
when I was new, Beidou was the first character I C6, so I was recommended to build her more.
Actually, same. The only fun fact I will share is her C4 attacks has connected ICD with her ult.
What? Why?
What?
Her C4 hits can apply Electro, which is like extra MV. Like, it's basically quills, but they're not quills. It's an infusion, but it's not an infusion.
That's so stupid.
And it shares ICD with her ult, apparently. For some fucking reason.
To make her bad in aggravate, I guess. Or like to create anti-synergy with aggravate.
Yeah, they were thinking like 2 years ahead to put a 1.0 4-star unit for her. Surely.
Yeah, I guess I can talk about like the evolution of her teams. People played her in like Sejef. Before there was obviously Taser, but after Taser there was Hyper Bloom. Like Sejef pushed the Hyper Bloom with Beidou agenda because she didn't steal cores, and you could play Raiden and Beidou.
True.
Isn't Hyper Bloom a single target team?
Yeah, but like to compensate for, I guess, the single target focus. I could kind of see it, but I don't think like Beidou kind of needs she doesn't have anything.
She wants buffing.
Yeah,
there's nothing there.
She needs a steroid, which is Bennett usually. Or like if in Taser it's like her damage contribution isn't even like, yeah. In 2 targets specifically it's obviously high, but yeah, but I think she mainly had a bit of a resurgence with Chevy teams. Like I think Chevy was pretty nice for her, specifically because she's just an attack scaling unit that doesn't like she snapshots, and she can be played with Arlecchino, for example. And yes, I will insert the Arlecchino speedrun. Insert Arlecchino Beidou speedrun with C2 Arlecchino. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool thing that Beidou could do, and I do think that in 3 targets her damage is okay with an asterisk. But like specifically in this abyss on the first half, I do actually think like Beidou Inefa should be fine.
It is. Don't recommend. Basically.
Actually, yeah, Beidou Inefa, you would rather just play someone else over Beidou, like another Electro, or even
a carry.
Yeah, that will Electro carry. Yeah, I guess that's it about Beidou. She's not the most interesting.
Her AoE in 2 targets is pretty cool, and in 3 targets it's meh. But even then, if you just play a character that has the minimalistic of AoE, they will perform better in any situation.
Yeah, I think Beidou is just mainly the thing is that she's off field. Like that's the selling point. Like the sad thing is that she still kind of works like jungling, where you need to funnel buffs into her, otherwise she does no damage. So I guess in a sense it's like, yeah, but she was nowhere near jungling even back in the days.
Yeah.
The only difference is that a jungling could do damage under those situations, Beidou will not.
Yeah. And she can also, like, jungling can significantly increase the hits she gets, even like as a baseline. But I think
in single target.
Beidou still has, like, if you act like 2 targets is 1 target, then she has like insane motion values. Like insane motion value hits if you only count the single target hits, but it's not single target because it's 2 targets. Because it needs 2 targets, it's complicated. but it's like
Yes.
10k motion value, which is like Natlan level, but you have to think about all the issues that she brings, and then it's
Exactly.
like very bad.
Yeah, it's basically like Cyno, in which I will mention on the PowerPoint I have prepared.
Oh no.
There's a PowerPoint. How about you talk about the original Cyno? The OG Cyno.
Oh, I have some experience with Razor, yes. Now that you... I leveled him up, like, I believe, before Natlan or something, when I got C1 Furina on a rerun. And I'm like, okay, let's try some shit out. So I pulled up Fischl, Furina, Bennett. And I just played him with the Pyro Infusion. I played him Vape. Over Vape, technically. And it was... It made me like Cyno again.
Oh no.
Let's say that.
Um,
It was terrible.
yeah, I guess like Razor was supposed to be a physical carry, but he doesn't have any. He doesn't do anything, and physical is also very neglected.
Yes.
And yeah, he gives himself attack speed on his burst, and his normal attack scalings are like okay, but he doesn't have any self buffs. He has a C2 that no C4 that shreds defense, but it's 15%. That's even less than Lisa.
Oh no.
It's the same as Lisa.
But it's the same?
Yeah, they're
Let me
both
check.
15.
Yeah, but like Lisa at least has like an off-field burst and doesn't need to be on fields.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's the gimmick.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't his best team like Chevreuse and Bennett C6 with a Pyro Goblet?
I did play that as well. It did perform better than the Furina by a little bit, but only because I was funneling a lot of buffs to Fischl, so it falls out into the same Keqing aggravate syndrome.
no.
Yes, another one, which is a quote that I always say whenever someone mentions Fischl's damage. If Fischl's damage is half of your team's damage, your team is not passing 60k DPS.
Oh no. He provides
Like,
more.
I can guarantee you that.
He provides more attack speed to himself than Mika C6.
Oh no.
Ain't no way.
Yep.
Okay,
Does
okay.
he give
That's another point to attack speed buffers being dog shit just as a baseline.
Does he
Thank
give more
you,
attack
Genshin
speed
Impact.
than? Does he give more attack speed than Dahlia?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yes,
Oh.
he does.
He said
Yeah, both Mika and Dahlia.
He's
Um,
one of the few units that can cap the attack speed.
Interesting. Okay, wait. There was also the Razor Burgeon team. That Sir Jeff had an agenda for.
Always fucking the Jeff.
The Bennett Nahida Sing Show team. I don't know. It was Sir Jeff cookery. Well, what should I
The
even
team
say?
work it. I can guarantee you that. I've played it. The team work it. The team work it for its time. It had its time, and then enemies started to become more cringe. Circle Impact started to being less pointful. It just lost its thing. And also just Nahida not being a great unit.
Wait, you can play Lauma instead of Nahida. Next
Oh my
patch.
god.
Potentially. We'll have to see if our application allows for that. Because it's a 15-second duration, so you'll probably have to shift the rotation a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Synccho is Wait, Lauma has 15-second duration?
Honor skill, yes. And ult.
Wait, really?
Yes. And technically you can get like 12, 14-second uptime on Razor and you get most out of it. So it should be playable, I think. But I don't think it's gonna come close to the Hyperbloom and Nilo variants.
Isn't
Makes
that
sense.
low-key? Like, we got Inefa with like 30-second uptime or something, and then Lauma has 15 seconds.
Inef is 20 on
Oh,
both
20.
the skill and her ult buff,
Oh,
the EM
okay.
buff.
Yeah. Okay, next. Wait, no. Yeah, next character. I guess I should talk about her because I'm the Lisa main. Or like I was back in my day. My day mentioned.
It's crazy she was not the first, considering she's literally the first Electro you meet.
Yeah, that's confusing. Okay, anyway, well, Lisa, she basically, her kit is honestly pretty cool. Like that's the main thing I liked about her, was like I also liked her personality, of course, but I mainly liked her kit because she stacks. She's kind of like Mualani. Like instead of stacking, like Mualani stacks on herself when hitting an enemy, she would hit the enemy and mark them instead of. I guess it's really like Mualani. But yeah, she would stack on the enemies until there are 3 stacks. Then you can do hold skill and you do a bazillion damage. Or like it's a really mid amount of damage, like in today's age, but like if you have her constellations and stuff, it's still 1k motion value, which for its time was honestly kinda like big. But she doesn't have any external buffs, as we will see when we look at her kit. So it was mainly just a way to generate energy. And that's where the problem is, because her top skills used to generate energy, but then they nerfed it and then they didn't, because it was too strong of like energy generation. And instead of being smart and being like, oh yeah, you can tap skill and then only generate particles like every 5 seconds or something. No. They made the tap skill energy completely not work. So
Oh my god.
yeah, that was sad because like her hold skill takes 1.9 seconds, but if you don't do it correctly, then it can take more than 2 seconds, which is really long. More than 2
Yeah.
seconds is really long for a character that has a Q too. I guess her Q is quite short in terms of animation time, but yeah. I guess yeah, her Q is just at C0, it does like 27 hits, I think. Just over time electro damage. And it's over 15 seconds, so yeah, it doesn't hit Hyper Bloom Core, sadly, but yeah, that's. And the main thing was like it would shred defense, and it's like the most accessible supportive defense shred we have, which is sad because
Yeah.
like, what do you mean? Like that she's still the only option
Okay,
regarding defense shred.
to be honest, in my opinion, I think Durin should be a Death Shredder.
Yeah, I think so too. And yeah, her C1 would give her more energy on the hold skill, which was honestly like it's not even it's not actual like refund energy, it's particles, and I think the particles were still like pretty solid, but it needs AoE. But the funny thing is, the more enemies there are on field, the less energy you need. That's just how energy works, because like enemies drop clear particles and you can collect them, so you need less energy. But yeah, then we have the C2, which was mainly for defensive utility, and it's not even like it's just for her hold skill, so not that big of a deal. And the C4 was actually the big one. It looks like RNG, but there's a fixed pattern behind this, and it's better than it looks on here. Because in 3 targets, the average is higher than 2, I think. So basically, if you have 1 target, it obviously only hits 1. I think in 2, it's like 1.8 or 1.9 average or something, and then 3, it's like 2.5 average hits, which is not really like it's not necessarily AoE scaling at that point, but it's still pretty good, and it has quadratic scaling if you would play her with Venti for some reason, even though like the cooldowns don't align. But yeah, and her AoE, like I guess her damage was balanced around single target, so Like it was still a nice increase for her personal damage. But obviously she still doesn't have like any self-steroids, so her damage was quite low still. And then C6 would give her like an insta charge for her whole skill. I really just want her kids. Like I want the C6 baseline into a Lisa, 5-star Lisa, and then like make her give herself like 40% or 80% electro damage, and then I just want to play with that Lisa because like it's such a cool kid. But yeah, the main, like she had a resurgence, and like obviously at first she was kind of shit because Beidou was better than her in taser teams, like even at C2. She was just better, and then at like when Dendro came out, she couldn't hit the Dendro cross, but she would be good in aggravate teams. I always advertised Lisa to be better than Keqing. I think at this point Keqing is also just better because like she got more buffs. Also more buff by Chevy, and then better weapons and stuff. And Lisa didn't really get that, but like it's mid versus mid, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, Lisa was also just way squishier. Like her base stats are horrendous, so she would very easily die. And she had her very clunky hold skill, which with C2 there's some interruption resistance and a bit of defense increase, but it's not nearly enough to make her like not clunky. But yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention she also synergizes with being like played on field, because like her charge attacks also apply the ones from the tap skill. So you do have an incentive to use her charge attack, which actually have pretty high motion value even for charge attacks. The problem is that it's 50 stamina cost, there's no reduction. And the other problem is that, like, again, she doesn't gain any buffs from her kit.
Wait, do y'all think we could carry for a bit? I gotta mute for a sec.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so then she had her aggravate teams, and after that she kind of didn't have any teams. She had the Nouvillette teams because Nouvillette didn't get, like, Nouvillette basically didn't get any buffer till Xilonen, and so like Lisa was a fine option just because she had her 15% undiluted defense red. But if you know defense red, it stacks well with itself. So if you don't have defense red, it's significantly worse than if you do have defense red. Which is, I think, the main reason why introducing a defense shredder is so awkward. Because either they shred a lot of defense to like abuse the fact that it's like it stacks with itself, or like it's they have to introduce multiple defense shredders, otherwise the defense shredder will be kind of not that great. But yeah, I guess that's enough about Lisa. She's
And
kinda,
I don't think
yeah,
we will get any baseline defense shredders like Lisa, which is literally the only one that has it that isn't tied behind a con, both 4-star and 5-star wise, because the newly reactions and direct damage ignores defense. So I don't think we'll get a defense shredder anytime soon.
Yeah, I think.
Unless they say, yo, Durin is gonna have 60% defense shred on his kit and you can get up to 100 at C2. But just.
Yeah, I think the best way to them, like the best way I would like to see it is like a character having both like Luna charge damage and then also defense shred or something. Or like not Luna charge, but like Luna reaction damage and then defense shred. Because like one doesn't buff the other. And like vice versa. I think that would be balanced. But yeah, I guess there's not really much to talk about then. Let's go on to the next character, which is Electro main character. Raulfigas, do you want to talk about Electro main character?
Ooh. I think I have said everything I had to say on like the tier list, but I will say it again. A battery that wants a battery. What do you think about this? Like, he has one of the worst particle generations I've ever seen as well. Do you know how much he generates?
Yeah,
One.
like one.
One particle. Literally one.
Yeah, they try to make it the gimmick that he refunds energy instead of having particles, but if he has so little particles, he just hinders the entire team.
Someone's calling me, be right back.
Oh, okay. I guess something funny about Traveler is that he's the traveler, and the traveler usually of the like nation synergizes with the Archon in terms of like mechanics. For example, I guess you can stack the CCs with Venti and Animo MC, although the synergy isn't that strong. But you can play Zhongli and Geo main character, even though it's not great, because of the Geo construct things. And then Dendro, actually no, they are just applicators, so not really, but Hydro main character best teams are with Farina, and Mavrika also, like, PMC provides energy towards Mavrika. But yeah, so there's some kind of synergy going on, but then Electro main character has, like, specifically doesn't work with Raiden. I guess we forgot to mention about this with Beidou, but Beidou doesn't work with Raiden. And so does Electro main character, for some reason. Yeah.
I'm back, y'all, by the way.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So yeah, that was very awful. Like, the kit is cool itself, it's just a lot of refund. And they do a tiny bit of damage at C6, but it's not nearly enough to justify the issues that they bring. But yeah, that's basically it. Oh god, the characters we talked about till now are so bad.
Oh no.
Okay.
They just didn't release a limited 5-star Electro until Raiden.
Yeah. Okay, Sarah. I feel like I should also cover the Sarah part because I'm a very dedicated Sarah person.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Sarah's main gimmick is that she buffs attack, but the duration is very low, so she wants to be played with characters that have a low amount of field time, which doesn't even, like, it's basically just Raiden. But Raiden isn't a hyper carry, as we will go into. Like, C0 Raiden isn't a hyper carry, so it was just a C2 extension. And yeah, that's I think the most stupid thing they've ever done was make Sarah a C2 Raiden dependent buffer, because on everyone else you would just rather play Bennett. She doesn't have any upsides over Bennett. I guess she does a bit more damage at C0, but that's it, and she just buffs less. And then at C6 she would provide she was very clunky at C0 because you need to hold skill to get the buff. Yeah. And the C1 also fixes it, I think. C2 fixes it. But you still miss out on the energy, sadly. Which is like Electro character problem. Electro characters always have, like, they either generate a ton of energy or they have extreme energy issues. Yeah, and then her C6 would provide 60% crit damage, which was a lot. Like, 60% crit damage is nothing to sneeze at. Like, on top of her attack buff, which was like 800 flat attack, so 80% attack, like, converted, and 60% crit damage. But again, the main problem is that the only character taking advantage out of these buffs is C2 Raiden. And it wasn't till Clorinde that the C0 character could take advantage out of her buffs, and then Clorinde got Yansan later on, who was also provided more buffs.
Yeah.
And it actually lasted for the whole fucking uptime.
Yeah, Sarah also has...
And fun fact, she also doesn't last for Raiden.
Yeah, no, but Raiden specifically works because, like, her damage is mostly, like, a lot of her damage is coming from one hit. If she didn't have that, then Sarah would also be mid as a buffer.
It's the same split as Mavuika. 40% is the initial hit, the rest is continuous.
I think it's more.
So it's probably more, but you losing that extra damage on some of your continuous could be the difference between you one rotting or not. I have seen that situation multiple times and it's so fucking cringe. Why 6 seconds?
Yeah, 6
Like,
seconds is really low.
This unit lasts 6 seconds. Cyno needs like 21-second fill times. Like,
Yeah,
that's two extreme polar opposites.
Raiden as baseline is 7 seconds, and then with her burst animation, it's probably like more like 8.5 seconds, or like, yeah. That's really cringe.
Oh, no.
It's around 9 seconds.
Yeah, 9 seconds.
Which is...
Yeah. So after Clorinde's, there was also Veressa, which she was actually that's the tragedy of Sarah, is that she was actually technically Veressa is by far the best character for Sarah, like can take advantage of all her buffs, but Yan-san is so much
Yan-san released in
better.
the same round.
Yeah, Yan-san is so much better for Veressa than
Yeah.
Sarah is. So she got one use case and then it got stolen in the same patch. So yeah.
And it's not even because the buffs are slower.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
also a Natlan unit that contributes to the Night Soul Burst cooldown, which gives her more uptime to her self-attack percent buff, which is 35% per stack. If you can manage to have one stack perma, is good. And with 3 Natlans, you can sometimes get 2, which is huge.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of people miss that, like the Night Soul passive, which is why Xilonen and Veressa, in my opinion, is the same thing as Jianyu and Veressa. But we can get into that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They don't notice, but once again, more Xilonen Glaze. She has the extra Night Soul Burst proc she has on her kit. By completing her eating EN2, she gets a Night Soul Burst proc that doesn't contribute to the main cooldown, so it doesn't reset. So you can technically get 2 stack uptime on Veressa very easily. For at least 2 mini burst plunges, which is really fucking massive.
Yeah, I think the sad thing we can get about it, we can talk about it at the Veressa section, but the sad thing is that C2 could have been so fun for Veressa, but she does all the C2 things like in her kit. So yeah, she doesn't have a burst cooldown and she doesn't need the energy. Or I guess she kind of does, but like if you vertical into her instead, she doesn't need it. So
she only really needs the energy in Stygian Onslaught because you start at 0.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
Okay, next character. Who wants to talk about Raiden? I'm sorry, I need to be ready. Like, I need to go again for like 1 minute.
Okay,
someone
Raiden.
I don't have anything to say about Raiden. I genuinely despise the unit, so I refuse to speak. Go on.
I guess I'll describe her kit. Raiden she was the first limited 5-star actually. First limited 5-star Electro, I mean. Nowadays she's kind of mid, but back in the day, she was a pretty good driver. She obviously she has front load, she has a lot of Electro app and energy generation for the team. So yeah, right now, her best teams are like, I think Double Hydra and Chevreuse. I'm not sure how her Inefa teams are. I never looked at them.
Inefa is like comparable to Yelan as a replacement, but vertically, the Yelan variant should still be better.
Okay, that makes sense. And And yeah, there's not much to say. Nowadays, she's just kind of a mid DPS.
Back then, her most famous team was actually not even her carry teams. It was Pikachu, Xiangling, and Bennett. It was the Xingshus back then, the rational team.
Raiden Shogun. Oh no.
And it actually performs really solid for what it was intended to be. It is one of the few teams that actually synergizes one-to-one with her kit, which is a driver, burst buffer,
Yeah,
and
everyone on the
battery.
team. Everyone on the team is a burst damage dealer. And then
I think
later,
it was one of the first one-to-one synergistic teams we got back in those days. One of the first.
yeah. And then later they would release Xilonen, who would be an upgrade to the team.
It got an upgrade with Yalan, a little shorter rotations, but it got an upgrade.
Yeah.
And Furina was a mediocre upgrade over Yalan, because her Hydro app is extremely RNG, so there were times where Xiangling was not vaping at all.
Oh no.
So
Okay,
Yalan had that consistency, and Xingqiu as well. Furina is
Yeah.
like more RNG.
Are we gonna talk about the abomination that is EM Raiden?
EM Raiden, oh.
Oh no.
EM Raiden is probably gonna be your best soon with Llama. And you can't deny that one.
Oh no.
It's gonna be a good timeline in Notcrap. And with that, EM Raiden is like basically you pull an entire limited unit just to play them as a skill bot. Like at that point, just use Kuki. It is not worth the pulls. I can guarantee you that.
Surely.
Like at least get the Hyper Bloom trigger that either does damage like Inefa,
I'm back.
or just
Welcome back.
don't do it alone.
We basically finished talking about Raiden.
Oh, okay.
I was mentioning that we were mentioning the EM Raiden abomination and how Laume is gonna upgrade it.
Have you talked about like C2 Raiden, or was it just C0? Because I
Oh no, I
wasn't-
forgot the
That's
constellations.
the first thing. Yes.
Okay. I guess I can do that then. So C1 was rather like underwhelming, but it helped with her degeneration of her like resolve. So in some teams where you didn't have enough resolve to fully burst, then you could do that, because like she has a similar mechanic to Mavrika, where she needs a lot of energy, or like she would do more damage the more like points she has, and these points can be at the resolve bonus. And the big one was the C2, which still for today, if anyone got this constellation, it would be very strong. But people overlook that C0 Raiden's damage is very... even at the time, it was very underwhelming. Well, like, not very underwhelming. For what it was good, but it was a sub DPS. Like, the way it worked, she buffed, she cut the team members like energy off, and that was her main gimmick. And the damage was kind of a side thought. But C2 was the one that made it so that she actually works as a carry. But yeah, C2 mainly got the biggest increase with Chevy, because like Chevy was just very big for any Electro teams. And yeah, she would like the dynamic would shift a bit because you needed an off-field pyro unit. Or the other thing you could do is do a Bandit infused normal attack, which would give you a 6-second window, which is kind of funny because it aligns with Sarah. So like technically, like if you do a normal attack with Bennett, you have like 2 buffs run out at the same time. Or even, no, 3 buffs run out at the same time. So yeah. But I guess that's Yeah, that's kind of where her C2 value stopped. Yeah.
Can I just say her constellations after C3? What the hell? Like, what is this?
Yeah, the C6 is just like there's a much better supportive constellation, which is Xilonen C2 that gives cooldown reduction on bursts, which works much better than this. And then C4 is just what is this? Yeah, 30%
That's
attack.
everyone
punching.
except Raiden.
Yeah, I don't know why it's except Raiden that way stuff. And it's
It's
after
the Cyno syndrome.
it's
It's the
after the
Cyno syndrome.
burst.
Holy shit.
After you burst, so like after one window, which makes no sense. But yeah.
Like, after you enter burst, your rotation is done. There's no other burst units like Xingshu is probably done, Zhangling is probably done, Yolan is probably done. Furina's burst is about to run out. So like, what now?
Yeah.
The only limited 5-star where her burst is literally a 0, where her C6 is literally a 0% increase.
Yeah, it does. Like if you play Sarah, then it shortens Sarah's cooldown. But your speed running, actually no. Nowadays, because of HP inflation, you might need those. But yeah, that's because of HP inflation. That you need a second rotation, and on that second rotation you have a shorter cooldown. But it doesn't, that's the thing, it doesn't reduce Raiden's cooldown. So no matter what you do, you're still tied to the 18 seconds which are here, which is so stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
If it reduced it, I think it could open up some crazy rotations.
Yeah. And I think in co-op it's also pretty funny. If you play multiple Raidens and they all reduce each other's cooldowns, that's also pretty funny.
Like, you could technically play a 12-second or close to 12 seconds rotation in double Hydra or some shit. Like, imagine how broken that will be.
Yeah.
Decreasing the rotation time from, like, what it is, 20 seconds to, like, 15. Bruh.
Okay. Does anything want to add does anyone want to add anything to Raiden?
I don't have anything to add.
Okay.
I think we have said everything.
Okay.
Just that Rational was once again the first completely synergistic team back then. And nowadays it's like, yeah, HP inflation is a bitch.
Yeah, and C2 Raiden does less than an optimized Arasa, so that's also that. Okay, anyway, let's talk about the honestly the most hyped character, I think, out of any 2.x character. Like, I guess there was Raiden hype, but Yae Miko had way longer to generate hype. Yeah,
Oh my god.
the Yae Miko hype was crazy. Who,
I pulled
Havak,
her on day one, I remember.
Havak, do you want to talk about Yae Miko?
Yeah, sure. Yae Miko is a sub DPS that okay, on release, I don't know how. Oh no. In 3.0, they added the Dendro element, and then
Did you just skip release Yae Miko?
I don't know how good she was. Okay. Anyway,
True. You didn't play the game yet.
And let me tell you, the people that said she was worse than Fischl, they were absolutely right. This unit was dog fucking awful to play back then, and her EM, like her EM thing where she converts EM points into damage percent to her skill, they were basically useless until aggravate.
Okay, I feel
And
like
even in aggravate, they were not that great. Because she would only aggravate, in single target of course, 33% of her hits, because it's standard ICD.
I think I want to add about the... Right now I forgot what I wanted to say. Wait, what did you say? What did you say? Oh yeah, the EM passive. I think some people overestimate how like this I think this passive is fine still, even if you can't use it, because like that's just how some passives are. Like for example, Inefa's passive is completely useless in some teams. I don't mind this. I just don't understand why her Ascension 1 could have just been baseline, because there's no reason why Ascension 1
useful.
Hmm?
Even in Taser teams. The EM buff to her amps her Ascension 1 by a decent amount.
Yeah, okay, but like the other part, like the EM share. Or like, I
Yeah,
guess Nahida,
depends
for
on
example,
the
sharing
theory.
EM is also useless in some teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it depends on the theory, but
Yeah,
you get the idea.
Yeah, I think the Ascension 4 was a bit like people complaining about that wasn't my problem. I think my problem was just the Ascension 1, which could have just been baseline. That's just like, she doesn't work. Her burst is completely stupid if you don't if you don't have her Ascension 1. Why isn't this just in the baseline burst description?
There are so many useless passives, and holy shit, the amount of times I will mention it soon.
Yeah, okay.
And
Should I focus more on the pre like Sumeru teams that she had?
I don't know how many she
dude.
had.
I think she had like Taser Driver, where you will either replace Beidou or Fischl depending on your building situation.
Yeah,
she had like Raiden, the Yae Miko team or whatever the fuck they tried to give her the name of. What do you think of that?
Raiko, Raiko was a bit like very cringe because of Yae Miko's cooldown and the fact that like it's 22 seconds, not 18 seconds like Raiden. And the other thing is that her skill, like she still mostly does skill damage even with her burst. So she doesn't take any advantage out of Raiden's buffing, and also kind of nerfs Raiden because of the cooldown thing, which was really annoying. But I guess she does help with energy, and she has actually, I guess we can talk about this later, but she, before Yelan, I think she had the best constellations in the game, because like these are actually quite good, all of
Yeah,
them.
that makes
Yeah, her
sense.
C2, her C2 is okay. Her C3 is okay. Her C4 is like solid. Her C5 is dog shit. Her C6 is great.
Well, her C5 was still like the way you would use her with Raiden in speedruns when you had like C6 Yae Miko, you do like quick swap, and then her C5 was actually good. But yeah, I guess another thing about like Yae Miko's passive is that it doesn't buff her burst, which is very stupid.
Oh no.
Yeah,
And
even in aggravate when you use her autos, it's just a skill.
yeah, true.
Can I
And
talk about? Oh, sorry.
no, what do you want to talk about?
I was gonna skip ahead a bit and say that Golden Trope also doesn't buff her burst.
Yeah, sure. I
There is like two other things I want to mention. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say why Yae Miko's burst was still very good in aggravate teams was that it aggravated 4 times on 4 different hits. But still, compared to Keqing, I think Keqing also aggravates 4 times, and it's a 12-second cooldown. So,
Oh no.
that's a bit awkward. But yeah, Yae Miko also has pretty high motion value on her burst, but it's obviously a 22-second cooldown, so I don't
I
know.
want to understand why 90 cost.
I don't know.
Because
They were just, I don't know.
Raiden
Was there
synergy, I guess.
Was there intention to pair Raiden with Yae Miko? Because Yae Miko having 90 could theoretically max Raiden's mechanic.
The problem is she's mostly a skill damage dealer, so like.
Yeah, I think
I think it's one of those early design mistakes. back in the day.
I still like some part of it because she has very high synergy with Witsit as well. Because like back in the aggravate times. Because her burst, like again, it does front load a lot if you aggravate all hits, and it's still like a lot of front loaded damage. And I heavily debated against people calling it shit. It was still like it was her only form of AoE as well. Like she has a fine burst, and her burst has its uses, and I think like the skill has more annoying mechanics because like recasting the skill and shit is so annoying. And like the burst being 22-second cooldown doesn't matter in Fischl teams because you do 25-second rotations as a baseline. So yeah, that part doesn't really matter. And obviously you generate enough energy to get the 90 cost. Yeah. But then it doesn't get any buffing by her Ascension 4, which I don't understand.
And another thing I want to mention is back then, Genshin said that they were changing her skill targeting from RNG to nearest target, in which, let me tell you, from experience, this was a nerf to her damage in AoE. Because RNG could effectively make her get more aggravates in some situations. Because it will target random enemies.
Yeah, it was pre aggravate. That's I guess the thing. But I think they were preparing for aggravate, so they reverted the nerf.
Yeah.
And even back then, it will nerf her AoE if you didn't position your turrets like one in one corner, one in another corner, one in another. And even then, you couldn't do that because her skill has a limit range where they can stack the levels between each other towers. So you couldn't do that shit. They had to be very close to one another, so it will just hurt her AoE performance, and you will basically be playing a second Fischl.
Yeah. I guess how her teams evolved after Sumeru was like she got another buff with Chevy, and I think some people would call her like I actually know that's not a hot take. Wait, no, Inefa also. Inefa is probably Yae Miko's best team. Oh no, we are slowly getting into the Inefa is everyone's best team. Yay.
Oh no.
But yeah.
I might. Yeah, I agree that Inefa is her best team. Like fucking, why does she do so fucking much? Just wheelchair every team at this point. Fuck you.
Okay, I was surprised with the sheet. I don't know which one of you sent it, but someone sent a sheet of Yae Miko. No, it was Flip. I was impressed that Yae Miko still had like almost as much damage as Inefa. Like she had like 100k less or something. But then Inefa also buffs, and Inefa also like has complete AoE. Like all her damage is AoE. Yeah. And Yae Miko needs to be on-fielded.
This is just an entire stream glazing Inefa. Fuck yeah.
Okay. Let's talk about the next. Yeah, Constellations. I guess Raulfigas said it already, but yeah, I think in my opinion, C1. I just wish this was cooldown reduction. Why isn't it cooldown reduction? C2. We forgot to talk about the 3 seconds on field time, which didn't matter in some teams, but it did in other teams. Like her having especially if you use her burst, she has like 5 seconds on field. That's crazy.
The skill, burst, skill.
Okay, you never do that. To be fair, you never do that.
Yeah.
That was a misconception.
I counted the second that shit takes, and it's like basically Clorinde's field time.
Yeah. Okay, but no one ever do that, please. Like, I don't think her burst is you basically start out with the 3 skills, and then you do a setup, then you do a bit of stuff, and then you end the rotation or start a new one with her burst. That's
that makes sense.
You don't do it like in a succession, but you add up if you use the burst anyway. So it's still Clorinde's field time as a character that's supposed to be entirely off field.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, so the C2 increased range, so it was like Emily level, which is kind of funny that she needed C2 as a baseline. And the motion value increase was nice, but I wish it would also like increase her burst damage. And then C4 is fine for Raiden, like Raikou teams and Fischl teams, but like you wouldn't play Fischl if you had a C4 Yae Miko, obviously. And then C6 was also just a pretty good constellation for back in the day. Because like it's actually Raiden is still better because like again Yae Miko has a burst. And so it's not all of her damage that gets increased. Meanwhile, Raiden got all of her damage increased, and it was a C2 instead of a C6. But yeah. Okay, that's it about Yae Miko. Let's not talk about Yae Miko any longer. She's just very mediocre. These three, Raiden, Yae Miko, Kuki. I guess Kuki will get a resurgence with Lauma, but at the moment all three are very underwhelming and mediocre. Let's talk about Kuki.
Oh my god.
Kuki Shinobu.
Yeah, I was so pissed because the Jeff made a video about shit talking her, but then like the main point of the video was like obviously she like her kid was not like meant for anything at the moment. Like obviously she would have like some kind of like the parts of her kid are hinting to something. But like he doesn't like he only made a video about her to like shit talk her, which I don't respect because like okay, I do respect for some characters because it's funny, but then like Kuki looks cute. I don't know, like why would you make a video just shit talking about? Yeah, anyway, I'm rambling.
Mention just one thing about Kuki. That's the only thing I'm probably gonna mention. Kuki's technically the first triple stat scaler in the game.
Oh yeah, it's true.
She
Attack,
scales
EM,
of attack, EM, and HP. Attack is on the skill damage. EM is both the skill damage and healing. HP is the healing, ult, and C4.
Yeah. Although her attack scalings are very, very bad.
All of her scalings are bad.
No, actually no. Her like burst does quite a lot of but that's the issue. It's like the only thing that does damage.
I don't agree. But I have played her in like all the possibilities I could get to make her burst work, and it was at best 200k damage. At best.
Yeah, but that's like for like one ability. Like I don't mean it as in like an overtime ability. Obviously that's like mid, but I'm considering it as a like burst that does damage, a burst of damage, and I think in that regard it's like solid. Like compare this to not to Batchest, but it's like the same motion value as Moalani's burst, I think. Actually, maybe a bit less. I think Moalani's burst is 100% of her max HP as a baseline.
It's
105.
It's like 95.
It's
at below 50% HP or some shit.
Yeah. Which is unironically good. And then her C4, I also wish this was more like 9. Oh, actually 9% every 5 seconds. So it's like 40% max HP. But yeah, that's like not enough to make her good in teams. Just for motion value.
It's solid motion value if we're speaking of, but then she gets nothing to make her do damage. It doesn't have some weird mechanic or reaction that enables such.
Yeah, she doesn't gain any buffs also. She only has a C6, which is just 150 EM.
And you only activate it once every like 3-4 rotations.
Yeah. I guess the main like Kuki was quite useless on release because that's the main other thing that I accidentally dropped my mic.
Oh no.
Her healing is extremely like unironically I know like Yan-san I unironically feel Yan-san's healing more than I felt Kuki's healing ever. I know Kuki still heals more, but Like,
Are you sure?
no, I obviously like Kuki heals more, but I can feel Yansan's healing more than I can feel Kuki. I just can't explain why. Maybe it's
Oh my
because
god. That's crazy.
maybe it's because unironically like for fanfare it's so annoying that Kuki drains her own HP. Like it should be good, but she doesn't get her HP back. Like they should just add a passive. Like there's an HP drain, right? Like 30% of her current HP is the cost, but she
Yes.
doesn't generate
Up
it
to a
off
limit.
from off field. Like there's no ascension passive that makes her regain the HP that she lost. So like it's just extra drain on top of Farina's drain, and then she's much like she gets to the 50% max HP thing that her burst when her skill stops draining HP and stops doing damage. Like if you know what I mean. The little stacks that it's just very annoying. Yeah, and just for fanfare,
no.
I hated Cookie, like playing Cookie for fanfare generation.
Same.
But yeah, other than that, like she just applies Electro in a decent AoE, and that's what made her strong in Hyper Bloom teams. And like that's it. Like that's Cookie's entire identity. She was okay, like at the very release of Sumeru as like an aggravate character, but she obviously fell off because she doesn't do any damage. And you would either replace like Fischl, or you replace the buffer, or you replace the Dendro unit, but you don't want to replace the Dendro unit. So like it's very awkward.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess she was fine in our Hytham teams, but our Hytham also doesn't do anything. No, I don't mean like a Hytham is bad, but yeah. Anyway, so let's continue. Yeah, I guess Kuki was one of the main reasons why I just thought that Farina baited so hard, because like Kuki was so important for like our Hytham teams, and the way to fix Kuki's anti-synergy with Farina was to get Farina's cons. That was the only way, and that just it pissed me off. And we are seeing the same thing again with Lauma, because Lauma needs her C1 to work with Nilu teams, and it's so annoying.
Oh no.
Yeah, okay, I'm just rambling.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
we got I guess the funny thing is that we got 2 Electro healers back to back, and one was like called extremely dog shit, and then like Dori came out, and Dori was like even worse than Cookie on like I get is it a hard take to say that like Cookie release was better than release Dori, or was Dori like I don't know.
I mean, Dori already had Dendro.
Yeah, but
which was funny, and it performed a decent amount. But back then, we didn't have Furina.
Yeah.
On her release, we also didn't have Nahida. So a good potential was locked.
Okay, and to be fair, she doesn't have party-wide healing before C6. Like only at C6 she works as a Farina driver, and then she needs to be on field.
Like the only gimmick of Dori was literally C6 for PSTF spamming skills, and that was the only time where Furina like had the maxed funfair bullshit, because her healing team-wide is really fucking good.
Yeah.
You spam that shit, so you get a lot.
Like Raulfigas said, I believe, she does like when she's on field she does a bit of damage, but she doesn't have any like self buffs again. Like there's nothing in her kit to buff her.
Her motion values aren't even that crazy. It's more so that on-field quick bloomer. And I will mention here before the Cyno section, there were situations where Dori performed better than him.
Oh no.
If you had C6.
Oh no, that's so sad.
And this is true. You can literally like find people doing this. And Dori was like about as good and sometimes better in boss rushes.
Oh no.
Also, I think C0. Actually, no, she doesn't. Her energy issues don't get fixed, but like if you just off-field her energy issues are very bad.
Yeah.
I think she needs a lot of energy.
At least she doesn't need a full battery to function. You see, they learned from Electro MC.
Unironically, I just completely forgot that Dori exists. Like, I don't really see anyone ever talk about her.
I think that the only character they hated more than Varessa was Dori. No one else.
Yeah, people really
Like
hate
the
her.
community. She is to this day hated. And I don't understand why. Like what did she do to you?
I will say, it feels like Dori is the only Dumeru 4-star that actually gets reruns. Like, they don't rerun any of the other ones.
They just rerun at Sethos at least.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah. Okay, where's your PowerPoint presentation? Do you have it prepared?
It is ready, unless someone decided to delete it, but I think not.
Okay, can you give
Let me
me
send
like,
it
do you have
if
a
I can
link?
find it.
Okay.
I will resend it. Let me open the PC too. Because I have to see
I have it.
Do they really wait like a year and a half after Cyno to release a new Electrocrafter?
It's actually so hype. What? How are we do? Are you sure you can do this in an hour?
Yes, I'm not. It's each slide is gonna take at best like a minute.
Okay. Oh, it's
Give me
actually
just
so
some.
good.
Oh my god.
It's actually high
What is
budget.
this?
Let me just open the stream myself on my tablet so I can see the thing. Because I usually don't have the stream open in this. So I just want to keep track on it. God.
The worst hyper carry.
Yourself, it's hard. Let me find. Oh, there's the stream. Okay, good. Worst. Okay, there it is. There's my boy. The worst hyper carry in the game. You can do clicks, by the way. You can do a few clicks. It will open up some text.
Genuinely, Eula is better. Tell me
Wait,
when
I
to
added the
click.
second one. I forgot that. My bad. Continue. This is just the. Yeah, that's an advertisement if I share. The 8 fundamentals of Cyno. This is just the basics. This is everything that will be covered. And I promise you it won't take long. Ignore the image on the bottom right. I just wanted to add something.
Okay, should I do next?
Yeah. Next. What is a Cyno? I can't read this next, please. This is just the main point. He is supposed to be a quick bloomer, but he doesn't have like an incentive to be it. But it will be explained, but it doesn't have that. He also kills what's the thing? What's the name? Flexibility of quick bloom teams by requiring up to 21-second fill time if you want to unleash his full potential. In which, let me tell you, not a single team wants that. He has the longest fill time requirement in the game, and he cannot use it. Like, there was a situation where Furina's skill would run out at some point. Because his fill time requirements are so long. And there's also a disease that will be mentioned later. Next. I don't even remember what I typed here. Yeah, he transferred archetypes mid-Fontaine because Dendro was so garbage, he just moved it to Overload. And then Taser when Xilonen came out. And Lauma might bring him back. Oh yeah, his vertical investment is also counterintuitive. Also, will also be mentioned too. And let me tell you, it is not good. He has a 50-50% division scaling. He's like the most 50-50 scaling in the game. He has 50% attack scaling, 50% EM on all teams. Like, you give him one stat, he doesn't get the other. Is that understandable?
Yeah, it is.
It will be shown later, but you will see. Next. There will be like images, so...
Oh, yeah, I guess you're talking about...
Split scaling syndrome, yeah, I just mentioned that. Can he clear Stygian Onslaught is the question. Have you ever played Stygian Onslaught with your, what's that? Fearless Medal on the line, have you? And this damage.
I have never.
Have you? Oh, good, because I did. I could clear specifically because I had that constellation that made a difference. If I didn't have this cons, I can guarantee you I wouldn't clear Dire. But my Clorinde C0 are 0 gold.
Crazy.
And now it's damage.
Wait,
That's
why
it.
is the
That's
damage?
a slide. Team
Oh,
comps. Team comps. No, just go on. Go on, that's the
Okay.
slide of his damage. Team
Oh,
comps.
there's
Okay,
no
there it
damage.
is. Black equal option, yellow's best in slot, and the red one will be mentioned soon. But you can see that he has a decent amount of options between 3 archetypes. 2 of those archetypes were not open on release. They were open on the main units you can see there, Chevreuse and Xilonen, were on. I can guarantee you that playing Taser with Kazuo or Sucrose was like the worst experience of my life. 6-second VV uptime. Yep, that's all the point. Yeah, Overload, you want Janssen C4. Without Janssen C4, don't do it with today's days.
53k.
Just don't fucking do it. And Nahida is still best in slot in some cases as well, but you want the C2 for her to be like worth it over like the Furina, Inefa, Beidou thing. And even then, if you push the Inefa variant with... Bruh. Is a Steam delayed?
No.
Yeah, it is, okay.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit. Taser is also only worded with Furina cons, because it's the same expression as the Overload, where you're betting more on his damage than reactions. So, unless you had Furina cons, it wasn't worded over Chevreuse if you had like C6 and Janssen C4 baseline. And, oh yeah, the last point. Do not play aggravate. Don't. It's the same syndrome as Keqing. You have Fischl doing half of your damage, you're not passing 60k. You can fit it in that team. If you zoom in enough, it's 53k DPS.
Oh,
And it has the advantage of Fischl's ascension for scamming, by the way. Just saying. Next slide. That's it for team comps. There's an honorable mention and the truth. Inefa saved him by providing more damage than anyone else, basically wheelchairing him to 80k DPS zone, which will be shown by calcs made by me. And the right one is the real teams. That's the truth. He only has 2 teams. Taser doesn't exist until consolations.
Wait, how does she...
So pick your path.
How does Cyno drive Janssen?
Cyno drives Janssen by dashing. You don't really get the full uptime, but the fact that you snapshot it on Xiangling already makes it best in slot.
Oh, okay.
See that how you never bet on Cyno's damage mainly? Yep. Not even in Overload. Next. By the way, don't click too fast, because it kind of skips the thing. Yeah,
Okay.
now the worst part. First off, his signature. Click. His signature is... He wants EM, but his sig gives attack. It's a conversion from EM to attack, but then his attack scalings in Quick Bloom are still worthless. In fact, his scalings in Quick Bloom are worthless. In Quick Bloom, 80% of his damage is from Bloom. Period. And in Overload, 80% of his damage is from his talents, which is one of the main things that why Overload and Taser just kinda upgraded with it, especially with like C2 Citlali and shit. Because you bet more on his personal damage when you have his sig. But you can't do that in Quick Bloom, which is the main fucking comp. You have to play him. Like,
Yeah.
where does this make sense? This is a
That makes no
3.x unit that has a more messy kit than most units in 1.0.
Yeah.
And even like 2.x.
Could you
Like,
make the
Ayato has a better kit than this motherfucker.
could
And
you
the signature that actually synergizes with them.
could you make the
Oh yeah,
point
the field
that
timer. Huh?
the point that like Staff of Scarlet Sands synergizes better with like characters like Alekino than with Cyno?
Yes. Like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? It's more so that EM on... I will say this. EM on Arlecchino is more impactful than EM on Cyno.
No.
Like...
But ironically, his Sig might be a better pull than Cyno himself.
It is. It's not even
Oh,
fucking close. His signature is great, and the character is dog shit. And don't let me start on the field time requirements. I just explained it was 21 seconds. Is there any character with close field time as is? No, not a single one.
Maybe
Everyone
Zhao,
else is
but
like 18 seconds at best. Varasa's uptime, if you do like 3 burst plunges, is like 12 to 15 seconds, whatever. And it still doesn't come fucking close. Next. Like, God. Is there a character with worse kit than his? Yeah, multi-wave issues. And it's not just, it's just a Nahida fault. No, it fucking isn't. Well, it is, but Cyno brings that fault to her because you can't swap off. If you swap off, it's a damage loss. Unless you swap at like 2, 3 NCs, which is like the sweet point. And less blooms in average, because it's not like an Alhaidem. Alhaidem at least gives you a lot more Dendro up, so you can get more blooms, you get more bloom damage overall. Like, I know there's like a nice idea of 2 seconds. No, 2 seconds no. 2 blooms every 0.5 seconds. But it's not like you will meet that requirement with Kuki or Raiden. Their triggers are 0.8 seconds on Raiden or something, and Kuki's 1.5. There's not gonna be an issue, ever. But with him, there will be. You will have less Dendro, you will have less Hyperbloom on a character that's supposed to be the Hyperbloom on-fielder.
And now
Next.
even bosses are multi-wave.
Don't. The multi-wave is questionable. Because you kill the first wave, and now what? You're playing with Nahida. There was no Beidou back then. In fact, there wasn't even Nahida back then. You were playing with DMC on his release. With fucking DMC. Like, he had one of the worst releases and one of the worst, like, adaptations to multi-wave I've ever seen on a character. Like, is there any character with worse thing than him? Yeah, even Quick Teams doesn't have his personal.
Standard characters released worse on release, I guess.
Bro, even Ternari. Ternari has better multi-wave than this garbage. Like, are you fucking kidding me? A fucking standard unit.
Okay, everyone prepare.
Oh, yeah,
this will be in the test. Take notes.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Quicken Teams does not hamp his personal compared to others. This is true, and it's why I just said Overload was better, because it tempered his damage, it made him worth it. His scalings are okay, but it doesn't have any, like... It's the same thing as the Dori and Cookie thing we just mentioned. It doesn't have any self-buffs to make it worth. In which I will shit on it later. Next. They amp it, however. They still have the split scaling issue. Because EM is not worth it there, as much as this in Quick Bloom.
Oh, wow. Oh,
so
no.
You will still have that split scaling issue.
Oh, wow, it is 50-50.
What are you doing? The Cynosis disease, which is on next slide. But you can see there, scaling division, that's an overload team, where he has 3 NCR. You can see that his attack and the MMVs are basically the same. So there is never a situation where he's completely satisfied. If you give him a lot of EM, on a team that gives him attack, he will still not be satisfied, because the amount of EM you could get on a team that gives EM doesn't give it to you, because you're playing a team that scales of attack. So, like, that there is no point where he's completely happy. You give him one set, he only gets half of it. And with signature, it alleviates that, and it's still an issue. Because he doesn't give enough. Next. Now let's present the Cynosis disease. And what does it imply?
Oh,
Don't
no.
skip it, let it go. Let it go. Cynosis is defined as the condition of having a team entirely composed of 5 stars who have comedically long burst animations that you essentially have to burst on all of them to deal any sort of meaningful damage, resulting in a longer clear time. And this is fucking true. There are some units with this, even modern, like Novelette and Skirk has this disease.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
but the difference is, just mentioned there, at least Novelette can do damage, at least Skirk can do damage. So, like, he has this disease and terrible multipliers. Like, the Hyperbloom damage doesn't save him, even with Lauma. So, this disease essentially makes him even worse of a character than he already is. Next. Fucking Cynosis. Oh boy. Boss Killer. This was the main thing that was mentioned on his release. Oh, he's just a boss killer. What is he killing? Tell me. What the fuck is he killing? He's killing fucking nothing. Wait, where's that? Like, if a boss has any mechanic that stalls the time or completely, like, cuts his fill time, where you have to reset your rotation, otherwise you just lose some damage, or you have to do a perfect dodge or you die. Like, was it Magu Kenki's transition, where it does that hit that almost one-shots you? You either reset the rotation or tank that shit, or dodge it. It's a 10 seconds, by the way, so you have to reset no matter what. And another one is like the damage squeeze. Like, till Inefa, it was impossible. Like, the teams were Nahida, Shinsho, Fischl. You're not getting anything out of those 3. Let me be real with you. In Efa, you will get something with, like, the Taser variant and the Quick Bloom with Beidou. But you will not get enough where it's like, okay, the setup is doing something, so it's like, okay, for Stygian Onslaught. Like, go, just click ons, because it's the Stygian Onslaught point.
Okay, I will say
It's gonna show.
this is really interesting because I feel like long setups can be fine. Like, if a character has cynosis, like for example Hu Tao. So Hu Tao technically has cynosis, but the thing is, Yelan, in her window during her setup, she does a lot of damage. Like, she does, if you have C1, she does like Q, E, and then like, or like Q, CA, E, CA or something. And then like that's already a lot of damage, but it's unrelated to Cyno, I know, but like I feel like that's the main, like, compared to other Cynosis characters, is that Cyno's supports that have a lot of animation don't do any damage. But yeah.
And like, I will mention also Novelette setups, like the first setup where you do the skill, then Furina's skill, then Inefa EQ, then Lauma or Kazu or Xilonen E and their stuff, and then you go Furina Q, and then you go back to Nuv. You don't really do that much damage on the setup. It's like the same thing as the one with Beidou with Cyno. But then, as soon as you swap to Nuv, you start doing damage immediately. You don't have burst animations, you don't have like time to wait. You immediately start doing it. So it's fine. It's the same as Skirk. You do the setup, you swap to Skirk, you're starting doing damage immediately. He still has to wait like 4 seconds on his EQ animation. Oh yeah, and Stygian Onslaught, fucking 80 cost burst. He doesn't even want ER. And his teams don't have front-loaded energy. Furina is not front-loaded, Inef is not front-loaded. Like, Beidou is front-loaded, but it's fucking Dendro. And yeah, that is the only boss he can kill.
Okay,
noted. It is a meme within the Cyno community that this is the only boss he can kill.
Okay, imagine.
Because it's the boss designed for him, because it's the Quicken boss.
Imagine they do like a Stygian. Imagine they put this in Stygian and rework the mechanics so it chills aggravate even more. That would be so funny. Like
They
imagine
will have to make an aggravate character, like either a support or a carry.
where imagine they
Probably
made
support
it.
first.
You know the charge attack that I don't know if anyone knows about this, but if you fight aside, this is probably something that only 703 players know. But I don't ask me how I know this, but like after a while, I think the third time it goes into its like you have to hit it with Electro and then
Yeah,
like it charges an attack that can kill you if you don't. And I think it would like immediately start out with that attack or something. And then you have to play like an Electro or even aggravate or something. That would be kind of funny.
yeah, they will probably do that. He has that thing. I noticed
shit.
it too once. And now a fun fact: just click ons, please. Don't skip it. Don't skip it. Okay.
It automatically does it.
Okay, good. Here is self buffs of multiple kits that are noticeable on the character, and they often can't live without it.
Is that
As you can
Ayato?
see, like, the rest is passive. There's like the 35% that they underrate. Oh, that is Utao.
Yeah, that's Utao.
That is Utao. The charge attack damage bonus is Yanfei. The resolve is Raiden. There's the Voracious attack passive that people forgets about and is like noticeable. There is the Skirk passive. There is all items 100 damage percent passive.
Is that Ito?
There's the Nilo Ascension 4. There's that's Noel's ult, and it's plus 50 with C6.
I see.
So like you can see, all of those are noticeable, and they can't live without it. They could keep their infusions they get, but if you remove that, it is a noticeable decrease in performance.
Yeah, and Cyno gets like 100 EM or something.
Nah, yeah, just click like ons.
Oh yeah,
it will go to the next one.
I spoil it.
Fucking 100 EM, bro. You wanna see how impactful that is? Click it.
Wow, and there's nothing changed.
It's not even 2k DPS. It's not even
that's
2k.
So funny. That's actually so funny.
Like it's actually so dog shit.
Okay, to be fair, like not every character has this kind of steroid, but like the obvious like thing that you need to keep in mind is if they are motion values like Morlani doesn't have any steroids. Either they amp their damage through other sources, or they just have really high motion value, and Cyno has like neither. So
I was just comparing to those that have steroids.
Yeah, okay.
And he gets like the lead. It's fucking 2k. By the way, that 100 EM is the same as Resonance. The fucking Dendro Resonance. Bruh.
But it's better than Beidou, right? It's probably still better than Beidou.
The Tale of Chevreuse. The character that saved Cynos from the shackles of Dendro, but he still wants Dendro because his scalings are not that great. Like, it scales with his investment, it makes his Sig look way better, because you build in EM, you build him with Gilded, because even in Overload, Gilded is his best in slot because of the signature. If you don't have it, it's worse than Ecos. Just saying. Till in EFA there was no proper sub DPS, that's true. He can now be wheelchaired, and it will be soon wheelchaired. It was shown there. In EFA's damage is like half of us. And it will be better. Oh yeah, Fischl and Chilling are better units than fucking Nahida. I'm sorry. If you say otherwise, you're coping.
He never fell off. She fell out of the screen.
Oh yeah, that was intentional. That image will be like in like 3 more slides. Be ready.
We still have 3 more slides. Okay.
Will Lauma make Cyno bloom? Is the question. Yup. She will. She will fucking do it. She will make Dendro fucking playable for him again. I am overballing on the Hyperlooms, probably. I'm giving him like 13 in this team. He only gets like 2 NCers. And it is really bad. It opens up another weakness of Cyno, is that the more you condense his uptime, the worse he becomes. He's already bad. Laume exposes that issue even more, because if you go past 2, you don't have Dendro. Because her uptime is 15 seconds, which in Cyno's terms, that's like 9 seconds. So it's not much. And it's all because of Inefa, by the way. You can see that Inefa's damage is a little bit higher than Xiangling's with Janssen's buff. You can see there.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm giving Xiangling some double hits. Like, half of her hits are doubled, the others are normal. And she's still worse than Inefa with no buffing.
Oh wow.
Goes to say a lot.
Sorry. No, Beidou.
You click too much.
Oh no.
3 dots.
Beidou
won't.
jump scare.
It won't. But the deer is Lauma, by the way. And that's C2
Yeah,
Baizu.
yeah.
That's the C2 Baizu copers with like Nouvelettes and even some Cyno players saying, no, he will not be replaced. I didn't pull 3 5-stars for this. Clueless. Oh yeah, the constellation calcs. Any thoughts? Any thoughts?
Yeah,
What do you think?
I was going to say, like, in the Lauma Inefa, I think I said this in the DMs, but I'm pretty sure that, like, the overall increase you get from C0 to C6 is like lower than Raiden C2 or Varessa C2.
Yes, Raiden C2 is like 40% to herself. And Vareza is like 30. Or something. Like, can you tell a character with worse constellations than him? Probably Albedo.
You want to
Honestly,
see for literally a 0% increase.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Wait, was it again?
A C1 and C4 being a 0% increase.
Oh yeah, click ons just to give like the mini explanations on the screen. Like
Oh yeah.
the C1 attack speed, they think like, oh, you can get some extra attacks. No, you don't. His main combos nowadays uses dashes, in which 90% of the time you don't use them. And the only times the C4 is useful is making Furina or Shinsho, whichever Hydra you're using with him in Quick Bloom, go on a damage weapon, like Primordial, or their best in slot like Signature or even Key for Furina, so she can actually buff as well.
Wait.
And even like...
Yeah, no, go on.
C2 and C6 doesn't fucking scale in Quick Bloom. Because damage percent is like... It's 50 is like okay if you don't have any. But if you're using him with Furina, C2 is even worse than that. It's not even 10%. It's like 6.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like even worse because he's not even like a hyper carry. He always has like some kind of other damage source that like diminishes the his own, like getting his constellations even further because he's not a hyper carry.
He could have been a hyper carry if he was well designed. But they locked a good portion of his damage through uptime that he can't even access. Because no unit supports enough for 21 second field times. And do you want to know why the C4 is this dog shit? Click on it.
Huh?
It will show on the screen in big text.
Oh, okay. Except yeah. The C4 Raiden syndrome.
It doesn't work on himself. For some fucking reason. Why? He's the character that needs energy the most in most teams. Why does he fucking not have that? Why does he not have it? It's so bad. But whatever. 3.0 curse. 3.x. What slide are we in? Fucking SOS says. Oh yeah. Dendro's dogshit and doesn't scale. Like C2 Nahida is the breakpoint and that's it. Past that, her cons do nothing. SOSS also only works with flat buffs, in which about Nahida, yeah, her buff doesn't work with the signature because it's flat EM. Citlali works, but Nahida doesn't, because Nahida scales. So for some reason it doesn't work to prevent, like, I don't know, like bugs. But really? Did they have to do that? It's her signature support. It's fucking Nahida. Like, as much as she's dogshit, it's his signature support. And why Citlali again? Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the text. The Sig and the C2 scales for him. Down to this combat is 0. It's like, you remember when you mentioned Natlan National not being that great at C0? Yeah, this is basically the same thing. If you don't have Citlali's cons, don't do this comp. But if you have at least C2 and his signature, it is better than Nahida. And Overload as well. Oh yeah, it doesn't work with the Sig. Best in slot support, by the way. What do you thoughts on this? Thoughts on the 250 EM not working with the Sig?
That's very,
But then
very stupid.
click again. It's gonna show the Citlali C2.
Yeah,
This
it's
works.
the exact same
Because
wording.
it's flat. And guess what? Her uptime, since she's like the last one going into the rotation in Taser, her uptime does actually last almost all of Cyno's uptime. Like, Nahida doesn't. Nahida's burst is like 18 seconds at best, and she has to be one of the first in the rotation. So by the time he enters the field, he only gets the 250 EM buff for like 10 seconds, which is not even close to 2 NCers. It's garbage. But then I don't know if Inefa does, because it's not flat, but it scales off a stat that isn't EM. So I wonder if it does. When I get signature, I will test this and tell you. But it probably doesn't. Zajev.
Oh no.
Zajev 77. He was one of the first Cyno enjoyers. I did talk to him about Cyno like back then when we used it to talk years ago. And he used it to understand him well, but now he doesn't. He doesn't understand where his position in Cyno is. Like, he said it on a very recent tier list that he made about character buffs, because like, wow, Notecry's gonna buff characters. He doesn't need buffs but could use them. Tell me any situation where Cyno wouldn't need buffs. Tell me any.
If Abyss did HP deflation and their HP checks got lower.
It will still be garbage. Other characters will just clear before he enters the field.
Oh, no.
Just saying. So he doesn't have buffs, but he could use them. Clueless. Surely he doesn't have like the most dysfunctional kit of all time. Child's kit is better than this. Eula's kit is better than this. Albedo's kit is better than this. Fucking Zhongli makes more sense than his existence. Ayato's kit is better than this.
Yae
Miko's kit, even if scuffed, is better than this. Like,
Okay,
there is not a single situation where Cyno could work. And the split scaling makes it worse. His signature doesn't fix anything. His cons doesn't synergize with his playstyle. He has nothing. And now, show us the best support in the game. Just in one click.
Yeah, peak.
That's her.
Okay.
She will save the Cyno society. And that's the end of the PowerPoint.
Okay.
This is my experience with Cyno, and let me tell you, it will only get worse when I get this last Constellations and Sig, and still be worse than C0 Clorinde.
Oh no.
Thoughts on the PowerPoint?
It was a very, very good, like, excellent PowerPoint. I can't add anything. Like, it was very good.
Everything was explained.
The
What
pictures
did you
were
say
great.
again?
I love the pictures.
Oh yeah, it's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's either memes or enough as a Birgit. That's it.
Okay, that was half an hour about Cyno, but we learned a
And
lot.
I will not talk for now. I'm gonna go dinner. Be right back.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Um,
Cyno's done and he left.
okay. So next character is Clorinde. Do you want to start with Clorinde or should I?
Yeah, I can start. Okay, firstly, they really just waited a year and a half to release a new Electro character. Clorinde is a on-field DPS Electro character who focuses on her normal attacks. Okay, I'd say she's very underrated. A lot of people shit on her, especially on release.
Yeah.
Her best teams are the Sara ones.
Now it's kind of actually Yan-san. I
I meant to say
might.
Chevreuse, not Sara. Why did I say Sara?
Oh, okay.
My bad.
On release, I do think that Sarah was her best in slot.
Yeah.
Should I?
Okay, you can continue.
Okay. So yeah, I'm the Clorinde person. I've mained Clorinde ever since she came out, and now I have C6, and I can confidently say that she is not mid currently she is not mid at any sort of level. I did consider her C0 level to be mid at some point, but unironically I've kind of switched up. Because I feel like Jansan Marika is kind of, it's not wheelchair, but it's something that she can take advantage of, and she takes advantage out of it pretty well. It's not she's not getting wheelchair. That's not the case. She also has a bit of room to fill in her rotations anyway, so the synergy is pretty good. But yeah, on release, her best team was Overload, but not by much, because we didn't have a good pyro option for the Overload teams. It was mainly just Toma, and we didn't have Eshu, so there was no reason to get the shield from Toma. So yeah, Toma just provided 15% pyro and electro bonus, and mainly you want a pyro unit because she doesn't use Bennett in her teams, so she can't use the normal attack strategy. The main reason she doesn't use Bennett is because of one of my favorite passives probably in the entire game, which is the A1, which is a massive bump to her damage. Without the A1, she wouldn't, she would do Keqing levels of damage. But with the Ascension 1, she basically does as much damage as just a very nice, good carry. But the thing is, this damage caps out at 3k attack. So if you go above 3k, then half of your damage, which is funny. It's kind of like Cyno, where 50% of his damage is EM, so attack buffs don't work that well. And she's in a similar boat because attack buffs don't go that well, especially if you also play on aggravate teams or something, which I will go over. But yeah, so this passive makes her anti-synergize with Bennett. Otherwise, she would have had good synergy with Bennett actually. But yeah, so you had to play someone like Toma instead, and that was why the teams were very awkward. So you would rather, sometimes, not really, but you would rather play aggravate. Because she does, her application is actually pretty good, and she doesn't have any synergy with EM, which was one of the big problems, but she actually has a decent amount of self buffs. She has the 20% crit rate from this, which she basically gets she gets it for her entire uptime. She has a crit ascension, her set gives a lot of damage percent, and her weapons also give a lot of damage percent. So she does have that synergy with aggravate. But yeah, so I guess I can talk about the synergy with Sarah on release now and with Hyunjin. So Sarah was, like we mentioned, her main issues were the fact that she has no uptime, but Clorinde's uptime, which was memed on in pre-release, and people called her shit because of it, because they nerfed it from 9 seconds to 7.5 seconds, and then said that it was going to be the worst thing ever, and that she was basically unplayable. This was like a last second change. And it was a pretty large nerf, but nowadays it doesn't matter again because Mavrika kind of filled up that time. So it at the end of the day it didn't matter anymore. But yeah, I guess in some teams you would have liked to see more rotation uptime in that. But yeah. And especially yeah.
I feel like she synergizes well with sub DPS.
Yeah, that's
like that makes sense.
Yeah, that's also true. Like she doesn't inherently I guess it's just the element of Electro being flexible in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sarah was just a good unit for her because the attack was basically 800 and like without any buffs she could get like 2.2k attack with her signature, so that would land her at the perfect threshold. The thing is, attack before 3k attack is really strong, like it's really really strong, but if you have the 3k then it falls off a cliff. So yeah, that's how that synergy worked, and it was good. Then I guess a lot changed with the release of Pyro main character and Mavrika, more so Pyro main character, because Mavrika doesn't actually, like, she's not entirely Night Soul Shield. She also gets a lot by a lot of normal attacks being triggered or like being used, which can also fill up her Night Soul, and Clorinde has a lot of normal attack hits, so like she does a good job at funneling Mavrika. And she can also take great advantage out of all of the things that Mavrika provides. So the sub DPS as well as the buff that Clorinde receives, and obviously she needs an off-field pyro option, which was the main thing that you wanted. She has Bond of Life mechanics. I forgot to mention those, but they don't matter. Like, she could have also just had a Night Soul bar and it wouldn't have changed anything, if I'm being honest. So, yeah. Like, her kit doesn't make it different. Okay, actually, she does synergize differently with healers, because, like, healers give her more Bond of Life, but it basically doesn't matter. It mattered in, like, some niche teams, like Chi-Chi, for example, but don't play Chi-Chi. No. And usually just healers didn't provide anything, so, yeah, don't play that. Yeah, that's where her teams are at this point. Yeah, Sarah obviously got power crept by Yansan, even for Sarah, even for Clorinde, I mean. Without Mavrika, I think Sarah is still best in slot, but the fact that like you can use Yansan before Sarah means that you can buff your Mavrika window, which is very nice. Like it's very, very nice. And like she also, like Mavrika is needed for Yansan, so that she can abuse the C6, the like 25% damage, and just overcap on the Night Soul of Yansan. But yeah, oh that's so much yap. Sorry. Yeah.
I will say I really like her against the Cactus and Stygian on Sword.
Yeah, that's true. I guess something I forgot to mention regarding Sarah is that I lied, because if you don't play her in Chevy teams, or like no, if you play her in Chevy teams, Chevy has 40% attack and 25% attack. So from Pyro Resonance, because you obviously play 2 Pyro units, which is 65% attack, and that's. Yeah, the 800 attack from Sarah is very diluted, which made Sarah a lot worse. And it still is the reason why Yansan isn't perfect, because the Yansan has basically the same amount of buffing, if not even. Actually, she has more attack buffing. Like, more of her power is behind the attack buffing. So we
Oh, wow.
might get another option, but I honestly doubt it. It's like, yeah, it's a bit awkward. Then there were the Yunjin teams on release. I forgot to mention those. I'm just basically like talking about it like it's the guide
It's
that I
okay.
made
It's okay.
about the yeah. And Yunjin has perfect synergy with Clorinde. She has the exact amount of hits needed to like use all the quills. Like some characters like Yae Miko, for example, can't use all of Yunjin's quills. Clorinde can. And she also amps these like quills. Because Clorinde doesn't have any attack buffs to herself. So the
Oh,
team
wow.
was, after Xilonen came out, it was Sara, Xilonen, and Yunjin. And it was pretty good, but the main problem was that it was always worse than Chevy. And the
Oh,
other
no.
problem is with C1. Like if you wanted to vertical into her, C1 would make Yunjin a lot worse. Because it's like just more hits triggered, and obviously you would rather play a character that amps all of the hits. I guess we can talk about constellations. She has very good constellations. All of them are very good, except this C3 and this C5, which are like
I mean, they're
basically
just talent levels.
they are worse than talent levels because half of her damage is coming from the Ascension 1, or like coming from the true it does shift. Like if you have the C2, then it's the C2 increases the Ascension 1, the power of the Ascension 1. So if you have the C2, it's like 60 or like 70% of her damage. And that means these talent constellations only increase like 30% of her damage, or even maybe lower. So
Oh, no.
that's why they are very bad. So yeah, but her C1 and C2 are both like around 20%. And C4 was like, it doesn't really reflect that well on cheats, but it's extremely good for speedrunning. Because you would just use the burst and it would kill things. Like it's a lot of damage. It
Oh my
looks
God.
like it's conditional because it says 200%. You can only achieve this when she has 100% bond of life, but 100% of bond of life she gets that at like crown. Like she gets 120. So literally she can max it out by herself. So yeah, then C5 again is mid, and then C6 is basically still one of the strongest C6s, I think. Because it gives her like 90% crit value, which she really likes, and a ton of like extra hits on either on like counters or like 6 additional hits when she does her like thing attack. How is it called?
Yeah.
Impale the Knight. Yeah, that's how much. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I guess I've yapped enough about Clorinde. There's not much else to say. At the moment, she's on the same level as the other good Fontaine units. She's not
Yeah.
the same as like the lower. She's still a bit below Kinnick, but I would say that she's like she's closer to Natlan's than other characters. And I would yeah.
Isn't she the only unit you've C6'd? Like the only 5-star?
Me personally, yeah. She's my only C6. But I'm not biased in any way. I'm biased against her if anything, because like I thought that she was mid, that C0 Clorinde was mid, but actually in speedrunning she's still pretty good at C0 even. It's just that people always like she's always C0 Mualani shifted the whole speedrun meta, so no one Skirk and Veressa, when it comes to speedrunning in Abyss, Skirk and Veressa are no match for Mualani. They will never be, and I think people need to realize that. Obviously, on the Stygian Onslaught mode, the front load that Mualani has doesn't matter. And yeah, but like, that's... So, Clorinde being this good is impressive still in speedrunnings. Speedruns, I mean. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, I've talked about okay, her burst at C0 is kind of mid, but you still want to use it. It's still good, and especially because she plays in teams with double electro resonance, you get the energy relatively reliably, I think. But yeah, it's not a main part of her kit. It only becomes very, very strong at C4. Okay. Oh no. Okay, I will quickly go over Sethos. I think Raulfigas is still muted. And I
No,
don't
I
think.
was muted. I was letting you talk about Clorinde because I didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, you can talk about Sethos. I don't feel that
I
confident.
have experience with this unit and can safely say he's a character with a very complex kit, mechanically wise, and he's not explored enough as it deserved to be.
True, true.
Like, there's like some weird rotations where you can get all of his charge shots from his Ascension 1 passive or something, and still be able to ult and get like the most out of it. Like on a ER 4-piece TF rotation, that's really weird and difficult to execute. But if you can do it, it's like his best combo by far. However, as for like standard combos, he has like the end to wall cancels, and they're not very hard to do, as some people think it does. It's very fucking easy. I do it on controller very reliably. Can get at least 6. With perfect cancels, you can get 7. 7 N2 walks and an N1. That's the theoretical max you can get. So the difference between like 5 N2 walks to 6 to 7 is a noticeable difference for him. And his cons, yikes. Two of his cons doesn't buff his N2 walk playstyle, which is like I think it's a C1 and the C4, unless you're in AoE.
Oh, I
So
think his
it's
cons are.
only really the C2, C5, I believe, it's the ult, and C6, which are the ones that buffs his ult playstyle, because you get that free charge attack. So even in the ult playstyle, you can get like 1, which is an extra, in a decent build, let's say 50k damage. It's pretty noticeable, especially on a character that doesn't even do much. Because once again, just like Lisa, a really great kit design ruined by multipliers. Welcome to Genshin Impact.
I do think that he has like decent EM multipliers, and like that, like the C2 is like both the C2 and C6, and like the talent constellations are like good enough that if you have C6 Sethos and you like him, and especially with Lauma coming out, I do think that he has like a potential good future. Like he's nowhere near, like even though you mentioned Lisa, I don't think he's anywhere near Lisa in terms of power. I do think that Sethos is a lot like better, especially because there's a lot of
Show me
untapped.
show me his ult EM thing. Ult EM buff. Like
Is
the
it
extra motion value to his attacks. Show me just the ult level 13. I want to see something real quick.
is it
It's a
better
shit
than
on Cyno
Cyno?
again, but I want to see. Okay, 400. So 7 and 2 walks. You get this shit? Yeah, he has more EM motion value than Cyno.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no, that. Yeah, I always thought that like I've played Sethos and like he just feels better than Cyno. It's just a better Cyno. Okay, Raulfigas can't keep himself, but yeah, I mean I get it. It's funny. But I guess Sethos' main teams are aggravate, and you don't play him in Chevy teams. I don't think so because his attack scalings are pretty bad.
Okay. Jesus. It was funny, sorry. Yeah, in
Don't worry.
chef teams is like meh.
Yeah, he doesn't have any
Don't do
attack
it.
scalings. And I guess you can play him with Inefer, and he will get a big increase with Lauma, as will all Sumeru characters, or like most of
He
them.
kinda does. Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
like the thing that He doesn't benefit from Bloom, he just wants to aggravate. It's a purely quicken character. But since his skill's purely of EM, he can Hyper Bloom and get a decent amount of it.
Yeah, true.
So,
Okay.
he will probably get an upscale. My bad.
Okay, we need to hurry up. Oh no. Okay, Auroran. Havak, do you want to talk about Auroran?
Yeah, sure. Auroran is a 4-star Electro Natlan character, and his main. Okay, a lot of his kit comes from the scroll set, but he is an Electro charged character.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. His teams on release were like Chaska and other. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, like actually, what were his release teams? He just got a team with Mavrika. That's the only thing I can remember. But I guess you just played him with Neuvillette and it was okay. But like you had better options than like Xilonen was already out. So, but I guess something interesting about Auroran is that he actually does personal damage if you have like C6. Like not that much, but like it's a fine amount. And he specifically has target scaling. Like his damage depends on the amount of targets available, and like his skill is a mini Beidou burst, which actually does a fine amount of motion value if it bounces a few times. And then his burst is just like a fully AoE thing. It is too bad for Hyper Bloom because it doesn't have great duration. I don't think anything of the duration is fixed with the. Yeah, no, it's just faster. Okay, and yeah, his main form of damage is his Ascension 1, which are like hits that are based on his Night Soul points, which he like triggers. He's kind of like Inefa, like in a way he's just very similar to Inefa, except he works with Night Soul points. And Inefa just works if her skill is on field. So and I guess like the other parts is that he refunds a bit of energy, but it doesn't matter too much, I think, especially because his best team is Mavrika. So Mavrika doesn't care about the energy. His constellations are honestly all of them, they are impactful. Which is impressive for like a random 4-star. He's not like a Nyan-san, obviously, but his kit is fine. And
he's like a fine character.
Yeah. A bit of a filler character, but yeah, fine. Okay, it's time to talk about Veresor.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Havak, you are
the best carry in the game uncontested. Thank you.
True. Wait, insert meme. Wait. Give me a second. you can start talking about Veresor.
Okay, Veresor is... Okay, I will say she's my favorite character. She's a plunge DPS. Her best team is Overload. She's very like... Would it be accurate to say underrated? She's very good.
Yeah, some people call her shit.
She's not shit. She's very good.
Oh no.
Her early constellations are like not as good as recent characters.
Her
Yeah, I think they wanted you to like.
It's mostly just the C1. The C1 is like barely 10%.
Yeah.
Still more than Cyno though, but that's good.
I think they intended for people to like pull for Eon-san constellations.
And the C2 is like the big one. Because it changes the way she plays. Instead of going like, oh, every 2 plunges you get the mini burst, no, it's every plunge you get the mini burst.
Yeah. Her so C2 like changes her gameplay.
Also have more front load that way. Because you get the mini bursts faster.
Yeah. Okay, I think she has room to improve in terms of the off-field pyro slot, because right now it's just Mavlika, and I don't think she's that much of
Yes.
an upgrade over other pyros.
The bar for realizing Varesa is the best DPS. True. I had to spam it on at least 5 servers. The propaganda worked. And then another thing of like those pyros is the bar is in the 4 stars is Xiangling, in the 5 stars is Mavwika. And those two bars aren't really very high to begin with.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
Xiangling only really does damage, and that's pretty much it. Even if the damage can be good with like C6 Janssen and shit, like it can be with a really good investment, not KQMs, good investment, it can reach like 1,000,000 if you get almost every hit doubled in bosses. Like that's pretty good
yeah.
damage. But then she doesn't really buff Vareza, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So it's basically the Fischl syndrome. Only doing damage is not gonna get you anywhere. Mavwika does buffer. It's like up to 40 damage percent in a slow decay over 20 seconds. So you do get a good amount of it in average. But then her damage is like lower than Xiangling, so they kinda even out in some situations. The biggest selling point is reducing the rotation time by 2 seconds
Yeah.
compared to Xiangling.
I can confidently say that Clorinde is more tied to Mavrika than Vressa is tied to Mavrika, even though they are Natlan characters. And Mavrika still provides one additional Natlan member to get a better uptime on this.
And I will say, Caressa still performs like really well with all 4 stars.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes, like Xiangling, despite being shit on, and we also shit on her, she's good in her thing. She does it well. And with Chev, you have an entire 5 particles and like up to 2 Favonias, if you give to Janssen too, up her ass. So she shouldn't have energy issues unless you overkill.
Okay,
I will say,
yeah.
Oh, you go first.
I was going to open up a new chapter. You can add.
I was gonna say people glaze the Shanyun teams.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Xianyun is extremely overglazed because first of all, her buff doesn't work in AoE. Second of all, she really wants her signature, and then she also wants to like be on the VV set to maximize power, and otherwise she doesn't really compete with Xilonen even, and the healing is like not necessary unless you play Farina. But if you play Farina, then she's obviously. But like, you can also just play Xilonen, and Xilonen is also a healer, and the fanfare doesn't make that much of a difference because like it's not like Farina's damage matters, so getting a party-wide healer wouldn't make that big of a difference.
Yep. And guess what as well? Xilonen is an Natlan character.
Yeah.
And again, she gives that Night Soul cooldown reduction, and she also gives it herself. So, once again, the passive that people dismiss the most becomes even more impactful, because you get more uptime on it.
Yeah. Don't stress over like if you have like obviously Xianyun is a lot more niche, so freeing up Xilonen is a pro, but Xianyun was never like better or like significantly better than Xilonen. Maybe she's slightly better in some situations, probably like in single target, but I don't even probably like yeah, I just think they are very similar. And the only breakpoints would be like C2 R1 or like just R1. Actually, no. Xilone's R1 is also good. So like C2 R1 would be the breakpoint where Xianyun is definitively better than Xilonen. But yeah, the main team you want to focus on is Chevy anyway, because like her constellations are still good enough that you want to pull them over like changing the entire team. But yeah, and then I think C4 is also like goodish, and then C6 is also pretty good. Or like I don't think they are like actually I don't know how good C4 is. I forgot.
I have been saying it a lot, but I think Varetza Vertical is my highest priority right now.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Technically quills, basically. Quills to her plunges. Isn't that what her C4 does?
What? Yeah, it's quills, but I don't know how good the quills are.
Let me check the scaling. If it's like any decent, it should be great to have.
Fiery Passion.
Okay. Time to zoom in. Up to 20k. Oh, it has a
This-
fucking limit. Are you serious? That's a limit?
It's like Clorinde.
500% of the attack.
Clorinde core.
Okay.
Doesn't Flip have a constellation increase for Ressa?
Probably. And the C4? This her C4 is really weird. And for Guardian Vent. What the fuck is Guardian Vent? Is it her normal ult?
I think it's a special burst, the one that you use.
Wait, then this kind of like floats around, no?
Yeah,
No,
Guardian
this should
Vent.
be like a solid C4.
Yeah,
Compared to
okay.
the average C4 5 stars has, this should be like solid.
They should have switched the C4 into C1 then. Like, why is this a C1? It's so mid.
Oh no.
But yeah.
Because Yan-san.
Yeah, okay.
And then the C6 is like, bro, I love the crit inflation in the C6s. She has just 120%, because why the fuck not?
Yeah, I think Sichuan still gets more
like,
crit.
what, 90 CV on her C6?
Yeah, but she also gets another effect. Which is very good.
Yes, but it's still funny. They're like increasing the CV on the cons. The C6 specifically.
Mualani used to have like 10% crit rate, or like, it was pretty funny.
Oh no.
I think I talked about it last episode. Anyway, I think that's it about Varessa. We should go on to the flip. I guess we kind of switched up on Yansan again, because like, first we thought that she was extremely broken, then we thought that she was kind of like mid. But I think now we just think that she's very strong still, but like just only works for 3 characters. But it's fine. Like she's
broken for those 3.
Yeah, she's broken for those 3 for sure. Sad thing is just that like Mavrika has so many good like slots that she's not necessarily reliant on Xilonen.
Janssen basically opened Mavrika Overload to actually be decent and not be a complete grief.
Yeah, true.
Like, I'm gonna be real, because Auroran wasn't enough. Auroran just wasn't enough. Bennett wasn't buffing enough.
If you
With Varessa, you can also slot in a sub DPS, which, sub DPS warning, because apparently that's a terrible thing. Like, you can have Varessa with Xiangling doing almost 1 million damage on Xiangling in a this solid investment, but yet why can't Clorinde have Mavrika? Tell me.
It's crazy, yeah.
It's the same argument again, but this happens every time.
Okay,
and back to Janssen. Good unit. I think she's overglazed by Zajev, but that's about it.
Yeah. I guess. Wait. What did we? Oh yeah. Towards her teams, she's very, very, very important for Kinnick. So like, getting C6 Kinnick is very important for. Getting C6 Janssen is very important for Kinnick. She's also obviously the key member for Janssen. She's very good with Clorinde, but if you don't have Janssen, just play Sarah. If you, I guess that's kind of it. There are some, like, you can kind of make something like, oh yeah, true. Chaska is also can also take great advantage out of Janssen.
Real talk. Can we have a minute of silence because a betrayer just joined.
Am I too late?
You missed
We're at
Fischl.
Janssen already.
I missed Fischl! Okay, I'm leaving. Goodbye.
No,
Fischl was
stay.
2 hours ago.
I'm joking.
You
Wait, what are we on?
just-
We are
Wait, what are we
Janssen.
on? Huh?
Janssen.
We're on Janssen. We're almost at the end.
We're almost done?
Kinkle promised to show up, but he didn't.
Oh, you should
I think
the
something happened there. Dude, you missed the Cyno PowerPoint. Holy
This,
shit.
You
the
can
half
wait
an
the
hour.
episode of tomorrow. Hold on, let me bring up the sign up PowerPoint on my stream.
Yeah,
That
you
was
you
pretty
you can
funny.
check it yourself. I have explained it here.
Yeah,
I can explain to you in DMs, but
I've
back to Janssen.
also Saga, I'm really sorry. I really did not expect the marathon to go on for
No,
this
don't
long.
worry about it. Kinkle also
you
didn't
feel
show
bad?
up. I'm totally not hurt.
I'm sorry, Saga.
No,
I'll make up to you, I promise.
Don't worry.
Okay,
Don't
okay.
worry. But you can talk about your opinion of Janssen.
Yeah, when Janssen first came out, I guess there was a lot of discourse about whether she would be better than Bennett or how good she was. But it's kind of weird. It's kind of odd, like Janssen's place in the meta, because I don't think she's better than Bennett personally.
Yeah, no.
But at the same time, I feel like people often underrate Janssen because they think her movement restrictions are harder than it actually is. For example, people didn't know that Clorinde would be able to like maintain Janssen C6
Yeah.
even, which not a lot of characters can do. Sorry, excuse me.
Mhm.
There's also Raiden. I don't know if you've seen the saga, but Raiden can do 6 and 1 CD
What?
and also maintain Janssen's buff.
Okay, that's funny. I actually didn't know that. That frees Raiden C2 from Sarah. What?
Yeah. And it's like super nutty, and it's Raiden's best cheating team at least, and I'm guessing it'd probably also be her best team in practice since you get Malvika.
It's super
And
nice.
you
And it's
don't
very
have
funny.
the downtime issues from Sarah. Double.
Yeah. You get perfect 18-second rotations. I need to show you the video clip of it. It's the funniest fuck. It looks so stupid. But yeah, that's one benefit, right? That's one thing Raiden can maintain it too. Or Lucino can also maintain it decently well with N3D.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a decent
It's
amount of
quite
characters that can utilize the buff. Even if... Yeah, there's just a decent amount of characters. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I think she has like one of the most make sense kit for like her kit is literally she scolds you if you don't work out. She scolds you if you don't move. Like she's so accurate to her like character that she is. Like she's a trainer. She wants you to move. Like that's so cool.
I know.
She's a well-made designer. Read
Do
her
you wanna-
C4. She
do you
was
wanna- wait,
so well
sorry.
taught. Read her C4.
Slow and steady wins the race.
Like
I figured
it's pretty,
uh,
it's such a well-taught unit.
why-
I was gonna say there's kind of an irony to Janssen because she can't maintain her own buff. If you wanna play her as a
that's
DPS.
pretty funny. Yeah, that's true. Wait,
Damn,
Flip.
Janssen, get on the treadmill fast. Yeah.
Flip, why are there no raids on YouTube streams? It pisses me off. Like in Twitch, you can just raid someone and then.
I know Kinkle can do it. You can raid.
Oh,
Wait, Kinkle can do it. I don't know how you raid though.
yeah. You could have like put on
think you could
put
have
all your viewers on our podcast.
Oh, I'm still live.
You're still live. Oh
What?
wait. Oh no. Why didn't you tell me?
Oh, it's still
Oh,
streamed.
no, I have
Oh,
a
God.
bigger audience.
Was it
now.
all the... Oh, sorry, my bad. Oh, I should have probably explained what this is. Hello, everyone. This is the Sucrose Stans podcast.
Hello.
True.
Hi.
This is my wonderful friend Saga. Harley is here too. Oh, Havach is here too. He's a Genshin TikToker. You should go check out the Sucrose Stans podcast. And Raulfigas, despite not being YouTubers. Well, you are a YouTuber, actually. You do clears. But yeah, I hate you all. Thanks so much, Rapid Flash.
Yay.
Yay.
I hate
Yay.
you too with a passion.
Are we?
Okay.
Anyways.
So yeah, Janssen, overall conclusion, a very good character. Honestly, she kind of like made a lot of niche characters that were like only worked for a few characters, like a certain Jianyun, for example. Compared to that, she has a lot more buffs. Like it's pretty funny how much she buffs. And I think she
And
still
it's
has the secret, like the most amount. Maybe Pharaoh's on amps more, but maybe Ian-san with full
Mhm.
buffs. I don't know who's better. What do you think?
like in terms of like buffing.
Yeah.
Are we
Ian-san.
assuming C6? C6
Yeah,
to C6?
C6 to C6.
I think it might still be Farzan just because of the ornament shred.
Yeah. Ian-san just buffs a lot of attack, and it's usually already diluted, so that's a bit annoying. We also talked about a lot about like Clorinde, and the sad thing about Clorinde and Ian-san, or Clorinde and Sara, is that at the baseline, Clorinde can get around like 1.1k attack or 1.2k attack, depending on the weapon and substats, obviously. And with Chevy and the Pyro Resonance, you get like 65% attack on top of that. So you get pretty close to a 3k attack just by existing. So that
Avenger of Dawn Optimal, Akekiamas, woo!
No. Yeah, but like I
Finale of the brick.
kind of hate that anti-synergy. But it's something that makes Clorinde be less reliant on Chevy, even though Chevy is obviously still our best team. And I really hope that Clorinde gets like new teams that like
there's also potential for Clorinde to get a better slot than Eon-san.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of anti-synergy.
To be fair, if Jan-san is kicked out, then Mavrika, I don't know.
Gets kicked out too.
Yeah. I wonder.
Maybe just a different team archetype.
True.
It's gonna be another sub DPS. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's true.
But then people will complain that she's getting carried again, and no.
Speaking of sub DPS,
that's the main reason.
The power creep, the AI power creep.
Oh, and Eva.
What? Oh, put the image on the screen. At least on like on the corner. It's cute.
True. Wait. It's like half of our chat is just you spamming that emote.
It's one of the few units that also gets overrated for no fucking reason. And it's once again the it won't meme back on like Inefa, where it's like, oh, I can survive without Inefa with my flint. Yeah, you're not gonna. I'm sorry, bro. You're not gonna.
Then the Vress is the best DPS.
Vressa best DPS, true. Yeah, I was gonna say the fact that we have Natlan units. Sorry, just to talk about Eonton again. Natlan units were so strong at a baseline, like Kinich, like Chaska, Lesso, Chaska, Malvika too. That basically adding a second Bennett for the Natlan units while leaving Bennett for the rest of the cost was just like a very good move.
Yeah.
Regardless. So yeah.
She's always.
Fuck yeah.
Inefa's always watching. Oh no, she vanishes.
And you can also just use them both on the same team.
Button. Like, her damage is so fucking stupid. And why is it all AoE?
Yeah. I don't think that like she is. She's definitely balanced around Not Cry and not Natlan. If I'm being completely. The thing is, she doesn't have any teammates right now, and still her teams are really strong, even though she doesn't have any like not that synergistic teammates.
Yep.
But as soon as Flip arrives and Lauma too, like I think people think that she's an Emily. No, she's not. She's not an Emily.
Like, she's way better than Emily.
She's in fact getting upscaled in 6.0 really hard in both Flynn's and Lauma teams.
Yeah, she's also getting the Not Cry passive, which is huge. Like the 50%. Like if you play her with Aino or like another Not Cry character.
Just Lauma.
Yeah.
Like Inefa's getting so much better in 6.0, and she's good for both of the Not Cry units.
Yeah. Then it's so funny comparing like Emily, who was like supposed to be preparing for Not Cry, and Natlan. I mean,
Emily yeah.
And then
Emily got one carry and no extras. Inefa got a fucking resonance, 2 new teams, and the reaction she uses is insanely more flexible for team building. So she
Yeah.
won't really have a problem in that.
And enough is also a sustain with consistent AoE.
And she technically also
Oh,
gets
boy.
new sets, although the sets aren't like that great
They're
on her.
not great
But
on her.
She can technically use
Sets
the
are good.
support set in some situations if other units prefer other sets, like Noblesse on Aino, and you give the support set to Inefa. Like, you can squeeze some more damage on Flynn's and not hurt Inefa's damage at all. Same thing is gonna probably happen with another carries.
yeah.
Man,
But
I think
another
enough is going to be
thing-
very valuable going into Not Cry.
Yep.
I think
This could also be a take that ages horribly, but I don't see her falling off, especially since she interacts directly with the new stuff,
yeah.
which is kind of the problem with Emily. Emily didn't interact with the new stuff.
Yeah, and she looks
Yeah.
to be
And
like
another selling point for
It looks like they're
Inefa
making up for
herself.
what they made, the mistakes they made with Emily.
yeah.
True, they learned.
And Columbina could also be a huge buff for Inefa.
Yeah.
The Inefa upscale on these teams as well is the fact that, well, she unlocks the resonance because not cry. She's gonna get that on her kit on 6.0. And that can unlock the DPS set on other units, similar to how like Furina alone enabled Marichas for some. Like Inefa with Lauma or Aino can enable the DPS sets on some units and be a damage upgrade just from the set alone on those units as well.
I feel like people are really sleeping on Enefa.
Yeah, true. I think it's
True.
interesting because in a way, like Fontaine and Natlan are very, very, very carry focused. Like they basically only release carries and then a few supports. But with Not Cry, it's looking more like Sumeru, where they release characters that synergize with each other, that create new interesting teams with interesting synergies. And I think I'm honestly hyped for that, because Inefa interacting with Lauma is like really interesting, because they do completely different things, but yet like would work on the same team. Like Sumeru meta is kind of back in a sense, and I think that's really interesting.
And you can technically say that Inazuma units nowadays are way better than any Sumeru unit at the moment.
Yeah. What? Do you mean Inazuma are
At
better
least
than...
a good amount of Inazumas should be like
Oh,
more
yeah,
powerful
yeah,
than most.
true. Yeah. But although I think Inazuma is like still the most made region of all time. We Flip,
Yeah.
we talked about Raiden, Yae Miko, and Kuki. At the moment, Kuki will get an upgrade, but like
Raiden gets an upgrade too. She's the best Hyper Boom trigger. Woo!
Exactly.
Agenda.
what about Inefa?
Agenda.
I love how the woo always cuts off, like it's woo and then nothing, because of the mic, I think.
Oh
But-
yeah, I don't know why my mic has like a cap.
Oh
How loud
no.
it can go. It's wee. And
Oh no. Anyway, Raiden, Yae Miko, Kuki, the most like mid units ever. But-
Whoa! Not too much on Gordon.
I don't.
God,
The rest is all
Raiden fell off like 3 years ago or something. Like maybe not 3 years ago, but yeah, she had her glory days. But it's very easy to buff Raiden. Just
They
make
kind
her
of
not
just
be
didn't give Raiden new off-field DPS to work with.
Yeah,
Like the
yeah.
last one was literally Xilonen.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
first
true,
oriented
true.
DPS.
Yup. Exactly. Like,
Yeah.
If they gave, like, imagine if they gave Raiden an Enefa, someone she can drive really, really well, but every single off-field DPS has been
it
skill
would have
oriented.
to be specifically burst damage as well, so her E buff will actually be worth
Yes.
Yeah, true. And I guess did we really just finish Inefa? Oh, her constellation. Does anyone know anything about her
C1
constellation?
is
C1 is good,
okay.
C2 is meh. Everything else is kind of meh.
Oh, okay.
The C2 is funny because if you have in a Nuvolet team, since the rotations are long enough, if you have C2 Xilonen, you can technically ult twice on her with
Oh,
enough
interesting.
energy. And that's an extra 300 KDPR on top of another 300 KDPR from second hold. So that's like it technically doubles her damage almost.
Interesting. And her signature. Is it very important?
Yes, it's really fucking big
It's
from what I
like
said.
yeah.
Wow.
It's like 30% from like the free-to-play option or some
Oh,
shit.
okay.
It's pretty big for me.
Okay, let's talk about the Inefa abuser who abuses all of Inefa's strengths.
We're talking about Flint.
Oh no.
Do you want to know a
Hashtag
character
I'm good.
that's
Hashtag
one
mid
crit,
unit.
one CM,
Are you
and
actually
uses
like one of the
Hydro?
people
Hashtag Varesa victim.
that is calling him mid? I
Sure.
can't. Like, are you really?
Okay.
Is it?
There is one character that could potentially abuse this, but it can't because he's garbage. That one CM, one crit, uses Hydro in his best teams, but can't use this reaction because his damage is bad.
Fuck you,
Guess
Steve.
who is? It's fucking Cyno, of
I
course.
know, yeah. We knew.
Another character that can abuse this, but is an actually good unit in today's days, is Nuv. Nuv is often overcapped in crits, and even like crit inflated. So he can give a good amount of contribution to the reaction itself. And since his rotations are, well, pretty fucking long, he will get the most out of Inefa because, yeah, it's every 2 seconds, and she refreshes like mid-rotation. It's 2 CAs, refresh, 2 CAs, repeat. Pretty much. So you will have permanent Inefa uptime, and she doesn't really buff him compared to like Kazu and shit. But she gives him a new quote unquote motion value, which is the LC thing, which pays off the damage loss from like Kazu's buffs. Basically.
Interesting.
It's enough to pay off. And her damage as well.
Okay, now we can focus on Flint's. I guess.
Do we have
Flint-
to? I think we can end the episode here.
Why? Are you
It's
that negative?
Flynn.
An entire episode about Flint, why not?
Are you like actually like? Is this your real opinion or are you bad-chesting?
No, I'm coping. I like Flynn's as well.
I meant like also from his strength. I think Flint is very strong and looking to be like a lot better probably also with Columbina. Although it will be awkward because of the
Future.
resonance. What do you mean Columbina will probably be like a... Actually, if she's a carry, then we all...
But I heard the leakers say that Columbine is actually a DPS.
If that's
Right.
the case,
I don't know. I
then-
think right now Flynn's is kind of not. I feel like he's kind of mid.
No, I don't think
Oh
so.
no.
No, by like current DPS standards, like he's just
better
about as
than-
good as everyone. He's just about as good as everyone else.
The everyone, by everyone else you mean the Natlan characters.
Yeah, I mean he's just about as good as all the other Natlan characters. He's not
And-
like
okay,
a
Natlan
DPS upgrade.
characters are mid.
No, you don't. Oh my god, you don't understand what I mean. I mean with the fact that we've had every Natlan DPS right now is like an 100k DPS character. Flynn's is just another 100k DPS character that is more reliant, that is super reliant on Inefa.
I think
So I'm like
he's-
not really impressed by him. If you get what I mean. Maybe if when we get Columbina, he scales up higher. But as of right now, he isn't really even better than Varesa.
I don't know, after the
And-
nerfs. I think before the nerfs he was better than Varesa, but after the nerfs I
He's
don't
cheated
know.
higher at least. But I don't know.
They
I also
were
think his
tired.
playstyle. I think his playstyle's gonna run into some pretty big issues too. His playstyle is using his skill twice in rotation. He has 2 damage windows. Like he has 2 windows where he actually does
Oh.
damage, and then he
Like
just
an-
does normal
Like
attacks.
an Ayato.
No, I mean like he does 2 nukes, and that's his entire
Oh.
DPR. So,
The
like-
2 nukes being the Luna charged hits.
Yeah. The 2 bursts. So the problem I have just thinking about him is if you're in a situation, it's even worse than Mualani, surprisingly, because Mualani has more hits.
Okay,
Yeah,
it's not I don't think that's worse. It can also be a big pro.
I don't know. I feel like it's gonna be awkward, like especially with
Oh.
overkilling. Like you do a skill, you do 99% of the enemy's damage, then I don't know.
I think that
His
if
normal
you
attack,
can
the only
decide
thing
when
it
to
does-
can you decide when to burst, or is it
You can decide, yeah.
then how is it bad?
I mean, it's you have okay. So he's how do I explain it? You skill, then you skill to enter a stance, then you have 10 seconds. You can once you use a skill again, you have to burst. Oh my fucking god! I can't explain. Have you not read his kit?
I I read it once and
Bro.
Okay, so
I
yeah,
just know that he
okay, Flynn's
infuses-
works,
That's
but he
like
does
a
a he does a
6-second
skill,
window.
and then once you enter a skill, he replaces his skill with a special skill, and then that special skill is used to enable his special burst. So
does
you'd
he-
have to do skill, special burst. Just wait for 6 seconds because that's a skill cooldown. Then
does-
skill, special burst.
Does his like normal
Yeah.
attacks and like bursts?
You want
the
to
other burst
normal
not
attack
do
only
damage?
to
Wait.
trigger
Talk what you're saying.
The normal attacks, do they do damage or not?
No.
Okay.
Oh
No,
no.
What are they for
the
then?
only thing it does is for LC.
His normal attacks are there to trigger LC and stall until you get his second skill. So Flint has basically 4 seconds of waiting.
Are they just
You can only wait for
cosmetic?
4 seconds, otherwise his skill just runs out and you
No.
don't get the second burst.
It's like Yae Miko's
That's
why-
normal attacks to trigger aggravate.
Huh?
Like Yae Miko's normal
What?
on-fielding Yae Miko to trigger aggravate.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah.
Oh no.
Oh,
So
no.
I don't know.
Except
I feel like
except
him having
LC
2
can
windows where
damage.
he does actual damage will be cringe, but I guess NFA kind of maybe carries the sustained damage there.
Do you actually think that
Except
sustained
that
damage is... Are you one of those people
LC
that called Neuvillet better than Mualani because he has sustained damage?
I'm not TikTok brain rotted.
Oh no.
But I don't know. I think it's gonna be cringe. I feel like
He has
overkilling is
that
gonna be
waiting.
very bad with him.
Yes. But at least his LC does decent damage, so you not feel like it's dead. Only his autos feels dead. That's the thing.
What about constellations and signature?
C1 is huge. I will say that. C2 also huge. C3 is like what? This is ult, also decent. C4 is like what? 20% attack and more EM from his passive. That's like okay. Compared to the usual 5-star C4 is like broken. So that's the bar. C5 is useless, and the C6 is basically a multiplicative increase to LC damage. To
Interesting.
like his ult.
Wait, why do
Like-
people think Flynn's is Sucrose's shred is? Oh, do you mean Sucrose's EM buff?
No,
But no,
it's-
Sucrose. No, sorry, I was reading my chat. Oh, I feel bad.
Bruh.
Oh
I
no.
think someone in my chat said the Sucrose's buffs run out by the second Flynn's E.
Uh,
But no, you
they
keep the shred.
don't
I think the
if you
E buff.
ult fast enough.
Right.
They don't if you ult fast enough because she's usually the last one into the setup. So you
Yeah.
should be able to have the EM buff to the 2 ults because like it's a 6-second window where you can ult. So
Yeah.
her buff time is 8 seconds or some shit. So you should be able to get 2 if you do it fast enough.
Okay, I have a funny comment to make. Did anyone... okay. Do you notice something about these characters? Pay attention.
I don't have your stream up.
Oh no. I will just mention the characters so you... Linny...
Oops.
Okay, I should just... Linny, crit rate ascension. Neuvillette, crit damage ascension. Risley, crit damage ascension. Navia, crit damage ascension. Alekino, crit damage ascension. Clorinde, crit rate ascension.
Every carrier.
Mualani, crit
Yes.
rate ascension. Kinnick, crit damage ascension. Chaska, crit... Mavrika, Vressa, Skirk, Flints. Do you think they forgot that damage... That pyro damage percent ascension and anemo ascension exist? Or like
They
elemental ascension?
I think they just surrendered to crit because
I think
Yeah.
they just realized
It's
it's
not-
bad.
It's
damage
not.
percentage now is
It's actually
2%.
not. The damage percent depending on the character. Mualani,
Oh my gosh.
literally, Mualani would be better with a hydro damage ascension.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, Milani, yes, I agree actually, because she
like,
overcaps with
what
Sack
do you
Trade.
mean? She fucking 40 crit rate set crit rate ascension. She basically spawns in with almost 70 crit rate or some shit. Bruh.
I think Kinnick too. Like Kinnick is extremely damage percent starved. Like his only sources of damage percent are his signature, then Mavrika's buff and Jansan C6. And a
There's
goblin.
someone in the VC German. Yeah, Saga is German.
Uh,
Oh yeah, No
Look at
Name's
that
a fellow
embarrassing.
German. Ew.
okay. Is we are streaming for 3 hours or no? I guess Flip is streaming for 7 hours. So it doesn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Blue is German too. Ew.
Okay.
There's too many Germans. I feel uncomfortable.
He's betraying us again.
Okay. Anyway, let's wrap it up and answer the title. So the thumbnail is a bit bait. I just really like Yae Miko, Kuki, and Raiden. These characters
Wow.
will always be mid. Maybe Kuki, not really, but like Inefa is just better than Kuki in Hyper Bloom teams, I think, with Lauma. Is she?
Like, yeah, her Hyper Bloom triggering is lower because it's 2 seconds over like 1.5 from Kuki and 0.89 from Raiden.
Yeah, but if
compared to those two, she has personal damage.
Yeah, if you have EC uptime, Inefa will outdamage Kuki no matter what.
In which, guess who can give enough even with fast Dendro? The Shingshu. It's an upscale.
Shingshu mentioned. Okay. So yeah,
Shingshu
who is
mentioned?
mid, who is good? Actually, everything till Cyno is very, very mid or below. Clorinde is very good. Sethos is good? Question mark. Auron is good. Rest is very, very good. Jansan is also very good. Inefa is very, very, very good. And Flint is also looking to be very good.
Who do you think's better, an Jansan or an Efa?
Inefa.
Yeah,
Damn.
I think Janssen is like Janssen and Inefa has their importances different. So they're strong for their niches. So I don't think it's like worth comparing. They're both like equally the same for their stuff. Really strong.
Basically, what you're saying is that Jansan's better.
Inefa mogged Fischl is so hard.
Okay, that's not important information.
Okay, anyway. Let's
But
wrap it up.
Complete agreement right now. Between all of these Electro units right here, do you believe that Cyno has the worst kit of them all? Please say yes.
I think Electro main character probably has the worst kit.
Yeah, EMs. What does EMC even do?
It's a battery that needs a battery, bro. Otherwise, you can't use the gold for more energy.
I mean, Razor's kit is just very empty. Does he even count?
Is Razor is Razor an Electro character? Every time Razor has found success in something in the meta,
was always something
it's been
else.
ignoring Electro.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So it's but like you have to agree, it's at least top 3 of the worst designs in Electro. Cyno kit.
Also,
yeah, probably.
I don't think it's fucking close. If you see the PowerPoint, you understand.
These characters also, I think there's not a single Electro character that I don't like design-wise. Maybe Razor, not
What the
really.
fuck?
Huh?
That's actually such a bad take.
Why?
Fischl?
No, I said like, there's not a single character that I don't like design. Like, just prettiness-wise.
Sorry,
I
misheard. I think your mic cut out. I think your mic cut out when you said you don't.
No.
Okay, yeah, I don't like how Razor looks, but the rest is like Keqing, Fischl peak, Beidou peak, Lisa peak, Sarah peak, Raiden peak, Yae Miko peak,
Wait, you
Kuki
think
peak.
Cyno looks good?
Huh?
You think Cyno looks good?
Cyno? Yeah.
Roll. TGS just said in my chat, if Cyno is a hyper carry, why does he deal less than 50% of the team's damage on an effort?
Yeah, we cleared the fact that Cyno isn't a hyper carry during the episode.
Cyno
in
isn't
the
a hyper
fucking
carry. He's
board.
designed around his ability to apply Electro.
He actually is,
Oh my
though.
God.
Like, he isn't
He
balanced.
is,
Like, he's
though.
badly
That's the
balanced.
thing.
Um,
I think I
Like,
was with
his contribution in Overload and Quick Bloom is the fucking same. It's 65% at best.
getting more
Like-
blooms on Cyno is better than getting more aggravate.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
Why does
because
he do
Aggravate is a
damage?
dog shit reaction.
Whoa,
Well-
not too much on Fischl's best reaction.
Shut the fuck up. Fucking
Wow.
Fischl bad chest.
Why why did you, that was so there was so much vitriol in that. What the fuck?
I do
Congrats on the
act
discovery
very
that
well,
Cyno
thank
is bad flip.
But yeah, I do. Yeah, Cyno design wise is good. That's the only positive thing I can say about him.
Okay, then let's wrap it up. Thank you all for watching. The next episode will probably be yeah, it will be pre-recorded, so like not actually Flip, you have time tomorrow, right? Okay,
Let me check my very busy schedule. I'm joking. I have time tomorrow.
Okay, thank you.
No way.
And yeah, so it will be pre-recorded and then streamed at the time because I'm on vacation. I actually have enough money to go on vacation, isn't that? Because I have a job.
Wait, sorry. Can
J
you
slur.
can you not say the J slur, please?
Oh, not the J slur.
Really
Wait,
bothered
we have
me.
to censor it. We have to edit this.
Yeah, you have to edit that out. That's very offensive. I'm
Okay.
like Saga. If you can you apologize? Before I get my demons on you.
And it will be about vertical investment, so you can be hyped for that. Okay, anyway, see you. Not just vertical investment, also just investment priorities on different accounts like substats, and should use strongbox, should use. Okay, you should always use strong. But yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, anyway, thank you all for watching. See you in the next one. Bye bye.
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 Oh, dude.